Hello, everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week, Brad Ellis,
Zelda,
Michael Damiani,
Zelda 2,
and Brandon Jones.
Zelda 3.
Zelda 3.
I mean, they made a third one.
Link to the Past.
Wasn't called Zelda 2 or 3, so I figured that applied.
It was Zelda 3 in magazines, right?
Yeah, it was tentatively called that.
Yeah.
And yes, actually, it's called Zelda 2: The Adventure Link.
Yep.
Brad,
It's called Zelda 2?
There's a
really?
big Roman numeral 2 in the official title.
It's the only number.
So, there's a little thing that haunts me about Brandon Jones.
Whoa.
Never playing through Final Fantasy 7 still haunts me to this day.
Okay.
Brandon Jones, I want you to promise me right here that you will play part 1.
That's your goal?
That's my goal.
Okay, so we'll say that. By the end of the podcast, you get Jones to promise.
You will
So
promise me.
Yes.
I will think about that during
Yeah.
this podcast and give you an answer at the end.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That you will play it.
Damiani, what's your goal?
Wow, that was pretty ambitious, Brad.
That's a good goal.
I want him to do it. Redemption.
I just want to get Kyle Bossman at some point to look over to me and go, you know what, Damiani? You're absolutely right.
Wow, that's a good goal.
It's not that because
That should always be your
It's not
goal.
the same as prove.
Yeah, yeah,
Prove
yeah.
it is I have to make Kyle.
Yeah. You
figure out
can't
something's
force me
right.
to do it. I'm just
Yeah.
going to choose to say that.
Like I'm gonna say something and I'm gonna look at you, Kyle, and you're gonna be like, Damiani, you're absolutely
right. Damiani, Jones, what's your goal this week?
To bring up Pokemon at some point before the end of the podcast.
Okay. My goal this week is a tough one. Every time I say switch, my goal is to say switch. That's it. Let's get to corrections. Begin corrections music, please. Zombie U is the sequel to Ubisoft's first game, Zombie.
got
with an
that
I.
wrong.
I didn't know. I had no idea that was. I didn't get it wrong. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
You knew
Like
that?
in all their marketing and
I had no idea. I had to look it up to
I
make
thought
sure.
we talked about
you gotta,
this when we-
You got to
I didn't know.
Google Zombie 1984.
anyway.
It's a thing. It's a game.
Thought Bloodworth made sure everyone knew that.
Mandate. Everyone must know. The pyramids were most likely not built by slaves.
Okay.
Take that, Ian. Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut is available on PS3 and 360. And some Genesis games actually did use the mode button.
Cool.
And corrections music, please.
On its own or to
On its
to
own.
activate those other controllers? Right?
Like a taunt button in a fighting game.
Huh.
I thought that was the coolest thing.
Fascinating, yeah.
Yeah. It has like practical use of switching it into the 3-button controller if necessary, but also some games later on use that as a button itself, which I think is pretty cool. Do y'all remember my favorite way to start a podcast?
Oh, Kyle,
When they announce
I
one of
remember.
those new video games?
Yes! Video game announcements.
All
We
right.
just made some people mad, probably. With
Yeah.
Why?
their terrible accents.
It's just a sweet southern accent.
I'm just saying,
They like video
someone
games
out
too.
there ain't happy.
All right, let us know. Let us know if that made you mad. Let us know.
Corrections.
We'll
Yeah,
correct it.
accent corrections.
This week we saw the announcements of Middle-earth: Shadow of War, the direct sequel to Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor.
Whether they wanted to announce that this week or not,
Yep.
it happened.
Leaked.
Tell us what that means, Jones.
It leaked. I don't know. Do we know why it leaked?
Target,
Yeah.
Target accidentally leaked the box art,
my beloved Target.
which is funny because I got to look at it, a couple times to be like, is that's such a Shadow of Mordor? Yeah, nope, that's the new game. Yeah, there's a couple new characters I didn't recognize. There we go.
Yep.
Like font's the same, art's the same, but yeah, new box art, new game. About time for them to announce something.
2 years later, right?
For that
Like
team, yeah.
we'll expect it.
Makes sense.
Actually, no, I have a release date, and it's August 22nd, 2017. So it's not a fall release.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty big deal.
Filling that summer gap.
From Monolith Productions. Okay, so we watched the trailer directly before this podcast, as we like to do, to keep it fresh. What's the impression, panel? What do you think about this game?
I'm down.
Brad is down.
I'm down.
Thank
Wow.
goodness.
Yeah, I'm down.
Thank goodness,
I'll play
Brad.
it.
Why are you down for this?
First one had some problems. It's fun, And I'm hoping for like an Assassin's Creed 1 to Assassin's Creed 2 situation where they kind of address a lot of the problems in the first one and just
Nice.
ramp it up. That's what I'm hoping from this game.
So what problems were there in the first game that could be fixed in this one?
I thought the Nemesis system wasn't broad as I would kind of liked it. It just kind of like felt not special after a little while. Combat's whatever. I felt way too overpowered in that game. Maybe that's just a problem I have. Like I was
Because you're good
killing
at
like
video games?
80 orcs at a time. Like, okay, dude.
No, Brad, you're just good.
alright, dude.
So they did mention some stuff like that in their press release, in their press materials, about how the Nemesis system is going to expand to bases, and that there will be like living bases
This
somehow.
is what I want to hear.
Where
Yeah.
orc armies
This
live.
is what I like. Yeah.
And yeah, in different ways that the Nemesis system will be used in terms of creating alliances and teaming up with people
Yeah.
and things like that. They definitely the Nemesis system, capital N, capital S, is mentioned many times in the press release for this thing.
Yeah.
Award-winning Nemesis system, they
Yeah.
call it even. Damiani, are you excited about that award-winning Nemesis system coming back?
Not really.
How come?
After watching the trailer, just going off the trailer alone,
Yeah.
I don't think I'm really gonna get into that just because it looked like fan fiction to me.
Oh,
And I get like a lot of these games cannot literally take place in the main story.
Yeah.
They try and tell you side stories, but what I saw in there looked like Retcon City.
Let's go over
it.
it.
was a little too fantastical.
Let's break it down.
A little too
I like
ridiculous.
that. Like, if you're gonna do like a weird side story, let's just get crazy. Let's get nuts.
because they do get nuts.
And it was there's a ball like coming out of the ground.
Let's
Like,
break
yes.
that. Yeah, there's a Balrog that comes
Yeah,
out of the
That's
ground
cool,
halfway through this.
But Sorn coming back, and
Sauron's
it's
there.
like, hey, just the Great
Sauron.
Deceiver is back, and hey, all the
I'm
armies.
pounding out a ring of my own.
Yeah, like I'm making another ring that's just as
Mount
powerful
Doom.
as the
Yeah,
one
yeah,
ring.
yeah.
I was like, what?
Oh wait.
What is
One
this?
One
Yeah.
thing I want:
Okay.
better boss fights in this game.
Bring on the boss fights.
Bad in the first game.
Okay.
Bad
So,
boss fights.
Are the boss fights not your nemesis?
I mean, those are like,
Separate?
but there's actual like boss fights in
okay.
the story.
Okay.
Bad.
So yeah, it does. To Damiani's point, it seems like they're throwing a lot of things in the game. And Jones, here's what I thought was cool about Shadow of Mordor, is that
Oh dear.
it had its own vibe. It was a side story, but it was telling its own story. Here we have this game takes place directly after. It takes place between The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. It does seem like they're throwing everything into it.
Yep.
Do you think this game will still have its own identity?
Sure, it's tough for a Lord of the Rings game to have its own identity. It's all just kind of lumped in there.
But
There's
Shadow
actually-
of Mordor did it, I think.
Yeah,
Had
but it
its
was
own identity.
It was weird because the Shadow of Mordor had Gollum, and that was definitely an impersonation. I mean, that's definitely the Gollum from the Peter Jackson trilogy.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the voices at the beginning of this trailer didn't seem like that was not Kate Blanchett, and that was not like a voice match. That
Do you think
like
it's the same character?
I don't know. It was the same kind of dialogue.
Okay.
Like Galadriel said those lines
But
in the
visually,
trilogy.
they're definitely
so-
going after the movie.
Yes.
The Balrog looks like the Balrog from the movie.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed the first game. I was actually one of the people at GT and at the EZA that was like a fan of that game. So I'm kind of on the fence because I'm excited about what they could do with the sequel, what they could do more. I mean, the technology around the Nemesis and everything aside, just having 2 more years with this generation and just getting more comfortable with their engine and re-examining that open world. Because the open world was interesting and I enjoyed that game, but like you look at the open world games we've gotten since then, like Far Cry 4, we got Red Dead coming later this year, we got Horizon, and like it was a bunch of dirt and rocks and mountains and stuff and like some wooden bases. Like that was about it. It didn't like the world itself didn't have a lot of diversity to it.
And this one definitely will.
So it was kind of like one of the first words I was sad to read in the press release was Mordor. I was like, oh, we're going back to Mordor. Like how much can we spice that up?
Well, Mordor was a
there was
big
definitely the
region.
weird like jungle area of Mordor. It was like, oh yeah, that's part of Mordor.
yeah.
It's like, is it really? And yeah, it might be so in the books, but like from that trailer, I'm not interested at all. Like just because I hate. It's kind of how it felt in the prequels. Like every time Obi-Wan was like slipping and falling, I was like, no, Obi-Wan, I hope he doesn't die. Look out, Obi-Wan. Anakin, catch him. It's like he doesn't die. He's in episode 4 or 5. You know, he's in episode 4.
So in this, we're looking at the opposite.
So now when he's like staring across it like Sauron, he's like, I'm coming for you. It's like, you're not. We know you don't. We know you don't defeat him. We know you don't do anything because we don't know you. So it's like, what are you gonna? It's kind of what Brad said.
No,
It's
we
like
know he
either
defeats him because he's not in Lord of the Rings.
yeah,
right.
Sauron's down. He's down when Lord of the
We
Rings.
take him
starts.
down, dude.
But here's the thing.
But
I
you
think Sauron died a long time ago before
right.
Lord of the Rings. So now
So
he's
he's,
like
back now and, like-
resurfaces and then will be taken back down by the end of this game. Right? That's how it has to work out.
So it's kind of like Force Unleashed, where it's like I'm gonna get back at Vader, and it's like I hope you
Yeah.
don't kill him.
I think that's a really
Boy, that's gonna be a climactic fight. So it's again, it's not that I don't enjoy it. Like I love running around decapitating. Like even that game could have been more difficult. I wonder if I actually go back to that Brad now that I've played Bloodborne. if I received like an education.
You got some
Because I
chomps
remember
now.
like talking to Huber and was like, "What'd you think?" And he's like, "So easy." I was like, "Really?" I didn't think that was so easy. Like, I definitely enjoyed building up my skills and getting better at just running around. I just loved like running at a base and just chopping an orc's head off. Like, imagine an orc just being like,
that's cool.
"What are we eating for lunch?" And then your head is gone because I just like happened to come by your base, like, and then run away. And like, that's it, just decapitating that guy. But from the trailer,
Okay, we'll see more gameplay soon of this. I think
March
it's-
8th or
March
9th, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see more gameplay soon.
I'm hopeful.
Yeah, August is crazy. To me, that implies that WBIE has a bigger game for the holiday season.
yeah, they haven't really. They got Lego. They released some more Lego
Perhaps a
stuff, but it's not.
Batman
Yeah, maybe.
Perhaps
Oh my
a
goodness.
Batman game.
Batman.
Oh my
Oh
god.
boy.
Perhaps Batman. We have another huge story this week. Almost as big as a game announcement. Xbox has announced something called Xbox Game Pass. There's a lot to talk about here, so let's get the necessary information out of the way first. First, I think most importantly, $10 a month. You get over 100 Xbox One games that are downloadable. You can download those games. You have access to those. They do rotate per month. Not all of them move out, not all of them move in, but some games drop out, some games drop in. So your $10 doesn't guarantee you can play that game forever.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah. That's a huge deal, I think.
Sounds pretty cool.
It sounds pretty cool. I want to compare it to two similar services. But one thing I want to do before... No, let's do that now. Let's understand exactly what this thing is. So it's like EA Access and it's like PlayStation Now, right? You hear that. It's like, oh, they're doing like PlayStation Now. So I want to talk about those two other things. EA Access, pretty cool. $5 a month or $30 a year is how you can pay for EA Access. The games never rotate out. They toss them in the vault. It is there forever. And that's because they're only EA games. EA is just writing contracts to itself, and they don't care. If you are part of EA Access, you get 10% off all EA games and DLC. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
I should mention that with Xbox Game Pass, you get 20% off games you want to keep. Let's say you're playing one of those 100 games.
Oh.
You download it, and you're like, oh, man, I don't want this to go away ever. I'm going to buy it. You get 20% off. And you get 10% off all DLC off those games that are within that 100 of the month. Back to EA Access. There are 43 games on EA Access right now. EA Origin, the one on PC, has 30 games currently. Some of the games on EA Access, all the Mass Effects, you can play every single one of those on EA Access. Star Wars Battlefront is already on there, and the current Madden is on there. So they load up that vault. I think that's pretty cool. Now for a third point of comparison, let us look at PlayStation Now. PlayStation Now is $20 for 1 month or $44 for 3 months. That's it. You cannot buy yearly. It's just one of those two things. There are 450 plus games. All of them are PlayStation 3 games, and they do rotate as well. Currently only available on PlayStation 4 and PC. No, that's not true. They announced that the plans will end in August, but after August, you will only be able to do PlayStation Now and PlayStation 4 and PC. The PlayStation 3, PlayStation Vita, PlayStation TV, Sony Bravia televisions, and Sony Blu-ray players, and all Samsung televisions are getting dropped on August 15th, 2017.
Wow.
Okay, so those
sorry.
are the three services we're looking at
Quick
right
question.
now. Yeah.
Can you, when you use the PlayStation Now or whatever, do you actually download the game or is it just streaming?
Only streaming. You never download those games.
Okay.
You need some fast internet, buddy.
Okay. Much more limited.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what we're looking at. That is a thing that is currently, I think, basically alpha testers are checking out. Maybe we can call them beta testers, but we'll be rolling out in late spring for everybody, the expanded audience. Are we excited about this?
I'm personally not excited, but I think it's a really cool thing for other people. It's like running a game, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like going to Blockbuster. You spent $10 and they say, okay, go nuts.
Yeah.
Though here's the thing, we should talk about the games themselves because I'm a little nervous. Here's the games that they were okay with announcing
For Xbox.
that they felt comfortable with announcing for Xbox. Halo 5 Guardians. Whoa, they're going all out.
Yeah.
They're putting Halo 5 up. Payday 2. Oh.
Okay.
NBA 2K16, which is from 2015.
Yeah.
And Soul Calibur 2. Great old game.
Great game.
Great old game.
Great game.
That's it. That's all they're willing to say is coming
Oh,
for
right
sure.
now, wow.
Yeah. So
It's a little rough at launch.
it's weird that those are your 4. This is basically the scope of what you're going to see on
It's
our
like a-
platform.
Variety, though. You know?
Yeah.
Fighting games.
I think it's a bad sign they're putting out the 2015 version of NBA. Whereas, EA Access is like, hey, this is the most recent Madden. When this launches in late spring, that NBA game is going to be old.
Yeah. Well, they just want you to buy the new one, that's why.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
they could potentially lose a lot of money if you just pay $10 a month and you can play all the Madden you want for a month.
Right.
Yeah, it's that weird play. You play the old version, and then you think, oh, maybe I'll buy the new one. So they got you. Mm-hmm. They got you on both ends.
I love the idea, though, you can buy this for 20% off. If you're loving this, just buy it for 20%
I do like
off.
that. That's very cool.
I love that idea. I should mention it's not quite fair to just say those 4 games because they did mention all the publishers who are on board, including 2K. Obviously, we got 2K16. 505 Games, Bandai Namco Entertainment, Capcom, Codemasters, Deep Silver, Focus Home Interactive. I don't know that one, to be honest with you. Sega, SNK Corporation, THQ Nordic, and Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment, and of course Microsoft Studios.
So it sounds like it's a lot of older games.
It might be a lot of older games.
Which is really
might be
which is really cool if you missed a lot, though.
Yeah.
Like if you're brand new to the console or something.
Also no Ubisoft, I just noticed.
Oh, okay. Maybe they'll try their own thing.
They might try their own thing. If you looked at the games that are currently they're testing out, it is predominantly 360 games. Basically, it is, I think, 21 games total, and 5 of them are Xbox One games. And so obviously, we don't know. We don't know what to expect, what the ratio will be when this thing launches. But, Damiani, do you think that's a good value? Do you think this is kind of the way video games will be going?
I don't know if it's the way it's going to be going, but I think it's probably a good value for the service. I think it's something that people who own an Xbox, it's like certainly a benefit to them. Even if it's going to be like older games like 360 games, I mean, I've always kind of championed like having this digital service that you like a subscription-based service that you pay a monthly fee to, and you get access to the library of retro games. Mm-hmm. So now if they're gonna primarily do 360 and older titles, to me that's pretty cool because hey, these are the games I want to play because I have an Xbox One. Maybe I don't have my Xbox 360 anymore. It's broken down. I know they have the backwards compatibility stuff, but maybe there were those games I didn't play and stuff. And if you don't have a 360 anymore, it's like, and they're not, and you can't play it on Xbox One for whatever reason, or you just want to buy the physical copy. It's just like, hey, I'm already paying like, what was it? How much is it for a month again for this?
$10 a month.
$10 a month. If you see the month's coming up, I remember that game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can get that, and I can play some other games as well for that month, whatever's there. I mean, and you can play as much. You could literally beat the game in that month if you want. Yeah. And then even if it rotates out, it's like, well, that's cool. I beat it. I'm assuming you get to keep all the save data and stuff. It's not like they're gonna like wipe that stuff. So if it ever comes back in rotation again or something, you can just like wait for it. I'm assuming they're gonna put the game back in rotation down the line, right?
You can't assume that. You can't assume.
You think the
Beast
game will never
Wars is
come
coming
back
back to Netflix?
What stuff? They rotate stuff on Netflix all the time.
Beast Wars has never come back, Damiani.
Well, some stuff might not, but that's because of licensing issues.
That's what these are too, though. That's why they rotate out.
Oh, I know, but like some of these, they're just doing it because they want you to come back later.
Oh,
some
sure.
of it is licensing. Some of it is we just want to keep it up there for the whole time because this is a good game. If you didn't finish it this time, you'll maybe come back next time and finish it. I personally would prefer to have the actually like the Netflix model where it is you have access to everything. It might not always be there, but like the entire catalog is there, not like they cherry pick a few from their catalog. Here are the few things. It'd be like this to me is like if Netflix had its entire catalog, but they picked only like 8 series. Hey, we're gonna pick 4 TV series, 4 new movie releases.
It's 100 games. It's 100 games.
You said there's only launching with 4.
Oh, that's the only ones they were willing to admit.
Oh, okay.
Right now.
So
they give you the number and those specific
each month you'll have access to 100
You'll
games.
have 100 games to choose from.
Out of their entire library.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean that is a good amount.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to have like everything and pay a little bit more.
I think it would be a licensing nightmare to put everything up.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll
concede like the licensing would be like a problem, but in an ideal world it'd be just like I want this on every system. You have this already on with PlayStation Now, but it's only limited to the PS3 games, and it's, as you said, it's streaming only, which is
Yeah.
like quite annoying. This is
And
great because
very expensive.
Twice as much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's more expensive. Which when they first announced that price, sorry to go back to like PlayStation Now.
No, that's
but
why we brought him up.
It was the pricing was ludicrous when they announced it. I was just like, what?
Yeah.
No one's good. This is too. No, come on, Sony. Come on.
But you're still getting trophies.
no, Sony. This is not right. This is one of your not great decisions. I think this will be good because I think Microsoft needs everything they can get to keep people and keep the sales of their system going. Just because they've had to combat a lot of the whole cross-play thing. Like you own it, you can play it on PC or whatever. There haven't been that many, but a lot of people keep bringing up the point like, I'll just play it on PC. Why do I need to buy an Xbox One to play these games if I can just play it on PC? I don't care about playing it on both.
Yeah.
And I think it's been tough because I think it's a higher level thing than the Xbox division. I think that's like a whole like Microsoft new creed, like, hey, everything's wrapped into this new like umbrella environment stuff. Like, we gotta push this. We gotta push this like this system out. And they're like, sorry, Xbox, like we want people buying all these other things as well, and like we need to like this is for the you're taking one for the team. And I feel it's kind of put Xbox at a disadvantage this generation. Quite honestly.
Yeah.
So this is something good to kind of combat that. It's like, hey, if you want to play like our older games, look at this service we're offering, like to lure in new people.
What's interesting about this is they say that it works on PC as well, but you're only playing the games that work on PC. And a lot of those 360 games Damiani's talking about, you can't play on PC.
Yep.
And so that is a cool thing. I mean, hey, if you want to play all of this cool 100 Xbox 360 games a month, there they are. Jones. So let's talk about PlayStation now. Let's talk about Nintendo's weird thing. Are they going to have to adapt because of... Sorry, if you want to know what Nintendo's weird thing is, that's the...
You got to be more specific than that.
Yeah, that is the... you're paying for online now with Nintendo, and
Right.
one of the bonuses is that you will be able to rent an NES or Super Nintendo game for 1 month, but then that goes away forever.
So that's a selection of things, but you can only pick one of each from each console for each month.
One from either console.
So you won it. So 2 games total, 1 from each.
Sorry, 1 game total.
1 game total.
Yes.
2
Yep.
consoles available.
Yes.
Multiple games on each console available.
Yeah.
You can only pick 1 game per
Yeah.
month.
Yes.
Wait, for Nintendo, you actually get to pick.
Because it takes you a month to beat an NES or Super Nintendo game.
Do you think they're forcing it
I
on
thought
us?
Nintendo picks their options for you.
It's so... Damiani, we
this,
read...
yeah, this is the problem. Like
we
not,
read their language directly, and we still don't know. We
it's
read
so
we read
confusing.
aloud what
Anyway,
that
sorry.
said.
Like,
Yeah.
I just got confused with it because they're being terrible at their messaging on that.
Yeah, and they are. And so, Jones, do you think they have to do better because of this plan?
It's tough for me to think about services like this in terms of competition, because it's like, are you looking for the best value to get a system like this to work for you to get free games? Or are you just happy you have a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One or a Switch? Like, it's tough for me to imagine the consumer that signs up for all 3. That doesn't make sense to me. Because that's too many. There's no way you're playing enough in every month to take advantage of those things.
Yeah.
So you have to pick and choose. And for me, that consumer decision would be based on just the console that you have. So like I would gripe at Sony for this being too expensive, but I wouldn't necessarily like hold them against what Xbox was doing if I don't own an Xbox One or if I'm not primarily playing those games on Xbox One. You know, it's just like if you view an Xbox One and that's your only console and you don't really PC like play games on PC that much, get this. Like this makes sense. This is something that I think would work out for you, and it's something that obviously these companies want. They're like, it'd be great if you could give us money every month. Just do that.
But you're telling Sony like don't bother?
No, not don't bother, but like I don't see. Of all the reasons why these companies are competing against each other, I don't see that having a huge difference. Like I don't see somebody, signing up for the Xbox thing and like I'm just waiting for Sony to lower their price, so I'll sign up for that one too.
Yeah.
If you belong to Sony's thing and Xbox's thing, that's just so many games every month to actually play to get a value. You'd have to exhaust yourself to like make it worth it.
I hear you there. Like Brad, do you think this will be successful? Do you think this will be a big deal?
I think it'll just be moderately. Like, it'll do all right.
That's
No,
kind of...
I don't think a lot of people will like talk about it a lot, but it'll just be there quietly in the background.
Yeah, I kind of see it. EA Access is very successful, and we never talk about it.
Yeah.
And I think it might be at that level.
just-
That's
doing
what
his
I was
thing.
going to say. We
Yeah.
never talk about EA Access, and
Yeah.
I don't know if it's successful or not, but I guess it is.
Yeah, and so I think it's that level of success. I think it might be there.
Well, I think EA Access is successful because it does stuff with brand new games too.
I forgot to mention that. You're
Yeah.
right. You get to play the games a week early.
So
Right.
people are like all
5
about
days
that.
early
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's the thing. I just don't see, if you're not into one of these services, I don't see you getting interested. You know, I don't see I don't think it's worthwhile for Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft to go after fans of the other side, you know, and try, no, you should really get this discount here, and that's really going to be worth your while. But if you're like all I'm going to play this year is Mass Effect Andromeda and FIFA and Madden and, you know, whatever, Battlefront 2, or it was like, if you're like, I am so into EA, then like save money doing this, but don't just jump into it because you like games. Like, I would only pick and choose. It's like Netflix. It's like this sounds like the same service of Netflix. I'm not signed up for Amazon and Hulu and Crackle. And, you know, it's like I don't have like 20 of those memberships. I really just pick 1 or 2 and focus on those.
That's a fine analogy.
And that's for television shows and 2-hour films versus like, you know, 30, 40, 50-hour RPGs and sports games you can play all year. And I just don't see like...
When I started paying for a cable, I had to say bye to Crunchyroll. Hurt, man. But I was like, I can't do it all.
I made the decision last year, the year before, to just have Netflix, and I said goodbye to cable.
Damiani, you making fun of me for quitting Crunchyroll?
Oh, for getting cable.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I mean, but I'm the opposite. Like, I do have Netflix, and I do have, because I have Prime with Amazon, I watch their stuff on their Prime Video. But that's because I get a whole...
Some of that's free. I don't like get Amazon Prime.
I don't know if I'd pay for Amazon's video service if it was on its own. It's because I get it with Prime.
Yeah.
But I do like go through that, and I have HBO Now. And I am constantly going through those 3, and there'll be times when I get like a little annoyed that none of them have what I'm like looking for. And I go and I'll end up being on Amazon. I'll be like, you can buy this. I'm like, why does no service have this thing? And that's what I was alluding to with like, I want a service, and I get the licensing part of it. Just in a perfect world somewhere, the licensing thing is solved, and in one place I can just watch what I want to watch and pay a monthly fee for it. Like, but sometimes it gets me. Sometimes it does work because of how easy it is on Amazon. Like the last night,
$3.99, whatever.
Last night, I was like, "Oh, I haven't seen The Arrival. I keep hearing good things about it.
Yeah,
it's probably never gonna be on one of these stupid streaming services. It's only $3.99 or $4.99 right now. Done. Screw it. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Like, but Amazon's great with doing that. But like, that's how they're gonna get maybe some people with that too. Like Xbox fans of 360 games, if they're paying into that service, it's only $10 a month. I'm ready to have an Xbox One. I want to play some old 360 games, you know, and I never had a 360 or something, or got rid of it. And then you're having so much fun with that game, it's like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna like buy this. You know, this is like
20% off.
Yeah, but then you got the discount.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
yeah.
It's so funny that they do movie rentals. I wonder if they're ever going to get into game rentals. That I could just drop $2, $3, $4 on a game and get it for like a day. You know?
I think
And
this is the closest they'll get.
Yeah.
I wonder.
I think this is as close as you get because I don't think publishers want to do that. I don't think they want to let us do that.
Yeah, I think that's
So everyone would just rent the game, especially if it's like brand new.
Yeah.
yeah. Like, yeah, you'll never see that for like new games.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, definitely. I wonder what kind of games will come to the service. That'll obviously be, as with anything, the answer, the value.
With movies, they do it after the theatrical release, and sometimes a little bit before the home video release. But the reason they do it, I think, is so successful is because it's cheaper. They're trying to get those people who just want that one-time consumption, who don't like, I'm not going to watch this movie again. So let's just lower the price a bit. There is a way to do this for game, like, cause it's like $4.99 versus like the Blu-ray is like,
sure,
or
okay,
even like Amazon, it's $4.99 to rent or
Yeah.
$15 for the HD, like to own it.
Yeah.
They could do this for games if they did reduced price, like a one-time fee.
What are you talking about?
Like, okay, so the game comes out, it's brand new, it's
Yeah.
$69.99
All
or
right, so
$59.99.
it's Titanfall, we'll say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what if they did, like, after like a certain enough time has gone by, you know how they like lower the price and everything
Yeah,
like
that's
that?
just called a sale, man.
No. They don't have to frame it like that anymore. Like, they just do
Just
it.
call it something different.
Yeah.
No, I don't get it.
Sorry.
It's not a sale, it's a clearance.
Sorry, I was forgetting. The early access thing that EA does.
Oh, okay.
If you could pay like a reduced price for like temporary access to it, like you can play this game
gotcha.
for a
Like
week
Jones is
for
saying
like
for rental.
$30. For $30, we'll let
Yeah.
you play like Battlefield 1 Part 2 or whatever for this week only, and it's ahead of its release.
Battlefield 1 Part 2. I want that so bad.
What do they call it? Like, you know, $20.99 or $39.99.
Yeah.
You get it for this week, and that's it. But like, you pay like a severely like discounted price for it. I think some people might bite that because like I only play this game for a week. Oh, and I get to play it early too. Like perfect. Like this is a win-win situation. Those people might never have bought the full price game to get in that experience. Like, I'm not gonna play $60 for this game, but $30, but you only get to play for a week. I might do it.
What I love about EA Access, though, it's the opposite idea of that. It's the idea of that the longer you're part of EA Access, the more value you're getting out of the same amount of money. We're just going to keep stacking into that vault. You'll never want to leave.
No,
that's what
you'll always get access to the vault when you sign up, right?
Sorry?
You'll always get access to the vault when you sign up.
Yeah.
So actually, if you don't give them money and wait, that's the best value.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of ways like to get that extra sale, basically. Like think of like a salesperson, like people who don't want to pay for a service. Like I don't want to pay a recurring fee every month.
Yeah.
I just want one specific game at one time.
I get what you're saying because we're not buying Blu-rays right now.
Yeah.
And there is a chance for that movie people to make money from us who
or
are
basically
never
like
buy Blu-rays.
paying to rent a game. So brand new game comes out, $60, you own it. You can resell it, you can do whatever. Or you could pay for like a 1 week access, even if it's not early, for like 1 week access to the game, you pay $30 or something. But after that week, we cut off your license to that game. It's digital only. Yeah. You can't play it after that week. So
I don't think they should do it. I really don't think they should do it.
Yeah, I don't. I think that too many people would do that over the new game price. But that week early thing would be perfect because a lot of people would be like, damn, just pay another $30. You get the full game after that week. Like that money you paid towards that advanced release.
This is insane.
Will count towards it.
I'm thinking like that will never happen because they'll piss off like everyone they work with, like it's physical stores.
Yeah,
they'll piss off Amazon. They'll piss off GameSpot or
so
they don't care.
Brad, I didn't even like look into the story. I just saw the headline. This is really related though. Is that GameStop stock took a hit today after the announcement of the Xbox Game Pass.
Man.
Oh yeah.
Do you see this as an assault on physical games? An assault, Damiani.
I don't know. We're just getting closer
Sorry.
digital.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Are you cool with it?
I mean, I like my physical games too, but if it gets to a point where they can cut out like the middleman in that sense and just make games cheaper in the long run, like $40 instead of $60, like that, I think it'd be successful.
Okay.
Because they don't have to pay like the people to ship the games to stores or anything like that. They can cut all that out. And if they just did that instead.
It is insane, actually, that we still pay $60 for digital games.
Yeah, that
is insane.
It's like, why are you paying that? You can't
you don't
sell
do that
it.
for movies.
Yeah,
you do not do that for movies or music.
They're
It's
doing
a
it
little
for the
ridiculous.
stores.
Like a ton of people would go digital if they were cheaper.
Yeah,
a ton.
They're doing it for the stores, but right now they're making a ton of money off the digital sales.
Yeah.
You did see how like it's not just GameStop. You saw like all the brick and mortar places are like bad news for like all of them. Like your beloved Target, like reported they did horrible, and they're gonna have like a bad year this year, and they have to close like a ton of stores.
And you're
year.
blaming video games for Target?
No, I'm just saying like in general, like this is what's happening. No one can compete with Amazon and stuff. So when you say like Amazon does like that, they don't care. Amazon like owns everything, and if it goes digital, they'll get like something where hey, we'll sell the digital thing along with you, EA or whoever, but we'll give you a kickback or something. Like give us 10% of commission fee or whatever if it sells on our site, but we'll still kick them to you. Like everyone has to go through Amazon right now, like in one way or the other. So
which was their plan all along.
Yeah.
Amazon's been trying to cut out. They've been losing money to cut everyone else out this whole time.
But because there's a reduction of brick and mortar stores, that's where these companies like EA and them and Sony and Microsoft have to do these digital services because they have to evolve because they're losing the physical sales because they're dwindling each year and year after year. So they got to do something to entice people to keep paying them and buying into the system.
And they don't even care. Following our digital future, we had a really fun Nintendo Direct this morning. This is fun. Normally news drops after we record the podcast. Today we had news drop on a Tuesday.
Gift
what a
wrapped.
day. Yes. This Nintendo Direct was all about Nindies, independent Nintendo Switch games.
That's cute. Nintendies.
Yeah, they call them Nindies. They call them Nindies.
I like that.
Yeah, I do.
Nindies.
Wait, why are you being negative already, Damiani? This
No,
is good.
I mean, it's good. Nintendo has to always do things.
Oh,
one
something
way.
cute.
Yeah, we're doing it our way.
We gotta
Yeah,
call
every
it something else.
You're on multiple platforms, but when you're on ours,
You're
you're
a Nindy.
Come on. Really?
I hear you.
Whatever.
How Nindy of you.
Buzzwords.
So, Brad, you watched You watched this direct. You watched this presentation. What stood out to you? What is the best looking Nindie
I
upcoming?
need the list of the games.
Okay.
I forgot what it's called, but I recognized it.
Hold me.
I'll let you know when.
Okay, so here's what I was most excited about. Blaster Master Zero.
Cool.
Developed by Inti Creates, coming out March 9th. Just a week after the launch of the Switch.
Wow.
They're saying, here it is. Here we're already making this sequel. Actually, Zero, I think. I hate zeros.
What was the one they did on Wii?
There's a Blaster Master game on Wii?
They made Blaster Master game on Wii, and I had to review it, and it was awful.
Prove it. Prove they made a Blaster Master game on Wii.
You just get it?
Yeah, the Prove It ticket's good for anybody now. Okay, so Damiani's
It's
looking
free.
up. I swore there was no other Blaster Master game because
I thought there was.
I was watching it during Awesome Games Done Quick, and I was thinking, why did Blaster Master die? Why did they stop making Blaster Master?
Blaster
games?
Master Overdrive by Gaijin Works is a WiiWare title for a Wii console released February 8th, 2010.
And what is it? Is it a side scroller?
It's side scroller and then overhead stuff.
Like Blaster Master.
It got a Metacritic of 58. IGN gave it 6.5.
Oh.
I think I gave it like a 5. It was really bad.
So then maybe you'll have more hope for this other game because it
That's
looks.
when I heard this. I was like,
No.
don't know.
This game is.
Redemption.
It's almost a direct sequel, even if it doesn't take place afterward or whatever. Brad, you saw this game, right?
Yeah.
It looks like a legit Blaster Master game.
Yeah. I hope it is.
Inti Creates, very cool at, I think, making this level budget game. You go to Inti Creates saying, hey, we need a really cool looking side scroller. Sometimes Mighty Number 9 is going to happen. But other times Inti Creates is great and has made really cool games. So I'm really pumped on it.
Yeah.
they did Mega Man 9 and 10. So
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Damiani. And I'm trying to think of the new one that's called like Guy in the Blue Jacket game. I can't nail it down.
Is that the top-down one?
No, it's a side scroller, and it's a lot like the games that I really like that they did are the Mega Man ZX games.
Oh.
yeah.
I haven't played those.
Yeah, those are so cool, and so it's kind of like a game like that.
Cool.
I need to hand myself the Prove It ticket on what the other game is. Oh, help me, everybody! Help me! Gosh darn it! He's got like white hair. It's like a Mega Man game.
He's jumping around.
Oh, dude, like Gunvolt? Is that what it's called?
Yes,
Oh.
Brett, yes. Don't you bother writing that comment.
Yes.
Yes.
it's
thank
fine,
you.
Soph. Everything's fine.
Gunvolt. SteamWorld Dig 2, obviously I'm
this looks cool.
super stoked on.
Is this a Nindie exclusive?
It is not an indie exclusive.
Okay.
Blaster Master Zero it's exclusive to Switch and Nintendo 3DS. SteamWorld Dig 2, not so much, but I'm so pumped on it.
Exclusive announcement. We didn't find out about it until this
Right,
morning.
it was announced today during that presentation.
And that goes a long way.
Yeah,
That can kind of lead people to think that it is exclusive when it isn't.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's the whole biz, isn't it? I thought about doing a rank the significance this week with these, but it didn't feel right with a bunch of cool indie games. But it's cool to see. SteamWorld Heist is very fun. I did not love that game as much as I love SteamWorld Dig. SteamWorld Dig just to me is just this ultimate progression. I just dig that so much.
Ultimate progression.
Ultimate progression.
Yeah,
Brad.
that's
It's as good as it gets,
That's cool.
dude. You're digging down. Things change. Things get weirder. You get better. You get new things.
Ultimate
the story
progression.
gets
I love that,
complicated.
dude. Back of the box quote.
Oh, I dig it so much. And then it looks like we're getting more of that.
Great.
Pocket Rumble is a really interesting game. This is from Chucklefish
Is
Games.
this the fighting game?
This is the fighting game that looks like a Wonder Swan game. The
Yeah.
graphics are just that downgraded.
It looked kind of interesting to me.
Yeah, apparently it's already on Steam Early Access,
really? Okay.
but the Nindie exclusive is that this is a console exclusive on the Switch.
Guess we'll have to try it out.
Yeah. And that's cool. It's
Cool.
the
More
I
games.
think the appeal is not just the graphical style, but also that has simplified
Yeah, it's
controls.
more simple. Yeah,
Yes.
probably.
So I still haven't hit the one that Brad's excited about.
I think you've kept your promise, but the two Switches you've said so far in the podcast were nowhere near as exciting as that first one.
Sweet.
Okay.
Sweet.
Thank you for the mid podcast update. I'll
Milk
try to
it
do
just
better,
a little,
Jones.
A little bit more.
A lot of people excited about Wargroove. Now, this is a game that very closely resembles Advance Wars, but with some.
Yes.
That's what I thought when I
I
Medieval
saw.
saw
I've seen
dressing.
gameplay of this. Somebody
You have.
put a
This
somebody put a
looks
GIF
cool.
up on Twitter that I saw. Yeah.
And that was an
And that-
appealing GIF, right?
Yeah.
Just an immediately
It was
visually
it was
appealing game.
Yeah, it looks
Extremely advanced war looking. Yeah.
Yeah, really
Sweet.
cool.
Cool.
Shakedown Hawaii I should bring up because that is an exclusive Nindie. It is launching first on Nintendo Switch in April, despite being already previously announced.
Timed exclusive.
Yeah.
Weird.
What's weird?
Already being announced, and then all of a sudden it's now on Switch exclusive.
It's almost like what happened with Rise of the Tomb Raider. Oh, why, Kyle?
How'd that turn out?
Yeah. Well, ouch. So Shakedown Hawaii is the spiritual sequel to Retro City Rampage, and so it's like if that game.
But it's more tropical, like Pokemon Sun and Moon, just kind of what they did.
Yeah.
with
Exactly.
okay, cool.
Yeah. If Retro City is 8-bit, this is 16-bit, but
Nice.
obviously they're not because they're much more advanced than anything that could fit on a Super Nintendo. But it is weird for a big sequel like that, relatively big. Damiani obviously hates Retro City Rampage based off that groan.
So we're gonna make sure I'm getting this right, so we don't have corrections music
Okay.
for next week.
We'll have corrections music, but
well,
this correction might not be
yes.
in the corrections music.
Corrected already.
Okay.
This is the one that when it came out, it was like making fun of all like it was parodying all the NES stuff.
It was very reference heavy.
Okay, so it got me really excited about that. I was like, cool, bunch of references. Played it for about 30 minutes. And I remember just going over to Miguel and being like, I regret this purchase so badly.
Oh, man.
This game is not fun at all. He's like, oh yeah? And I'm like, it's just, I thought a game has to be more than just funny dialogue and references and stuff. It has to actually have fun gameplay.
I'm not going to allow you to be that broad to say it needs fun gameplay.
I was just not having a good time with the game at the beginning.
You're shooting stuff. It's like GTA. You're stealing cars.
No, it was just boring.
You're jumping.
You're jumping.
No,
Good sell.
I was not feeling it. I was like, man, I got suckered by all the trailers, didn't I?
So big indie names are, I would say, Overcooked is a big name at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
There we go.
Overcooked Special Edition is coming to the Switch.
Is that just DLC?
Yeah,
that they've already
probably
released.
All the
them and
DLC
probably,
will be
yeah.
included in the
Great.
Special Edition. Stardew Valley
Yeah.
is coming
Yeah.
to the Nintendo Switch, and it will have an exclusive co-op mode
For
Cool.
console.
for console.
Oh,
Cool.
At least first.
Right. Sorry, it's exclusively first on the Switch.
On the consoles.
That's
Yeah.
crazy though. Wait, what do you mean?
Because it's on PC, I think.
No,
The
PC
co-op.
doesn't have that co-op, baby.
No, they didn't say it. They said console
Oh.
for the exclusive.
Well, I mean, it gets tricky, man. It gets real tricky.
marketing.
You're right. Nintendo Switch will be the first console to support the game's new multiplayer.
There it is.
Brad, well done,
PC
dude.
wins.
Look at that.
Those ears. Ukulele's showing up.
Awesome.
Yeah, so Brad, still I haven't hit that one game you were talking about, huh?
No. Obviously excited for ukulele, though.
So what does it look like?
It's something death, I think.
Oh, Flippin' Death.
Flippin' death.
So that's interesting. Tell me why Flipping Death
It's
is
the people that made
Nindies-
Stick It to the Man.
Yeah?
Which was like an adventure game that I played. It was a PS Plus game one time.
Yeah.
And I just randomly played it, and I had a blast playing it for some reason.
Whoa.
It reminded me of the Beetlejuice cartoon, Jones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's like the vibe I got from it. It was just fun going around like solving like adventures and everything. This one you're dead, I think, and you can like, I don't know if your objective is to kill people or something like that.
It's to make them happy. It's a lot like Ghost Trick.
Okay, it's like that. I didn't know if you're
yeah.
killing them or either way. It looked really fun.
Yeah.
So I'm down.
It's a lot like Ghost Trick in that when they say Flipping Death, it's a really cool effect.
Yeah, you're
actually.
like the undead world and it like goes to like the living world. Yeah,
Yes.
that's cool.
Worth checking out visually. Brad, I can't take their mouths, man.
That's okay. I understand that.
They have. Think of how Canadians talk in South Park, but then just imagine they look disgusting and grotesque. I like the voice acting.
Yeah.
And
I like the grotesque look though. It's
Brad's
cool.
into it. Yeah. I don't know. You gotta like gross Tim Burton, man. Oh.
Check it out, Jones.
Check it out. Worth checking out.
Cool. I'm assuming that's like
Flippin' Death.
an obscenity joke, flippin' death, like
Oh,
flippin'
like
death.
Flippin' Death.
You know, like
I'm just checking to see if that's an exclusive Nindie or not. It's not.
I don't think it
not
will
an
be.
exclusive Nindie. But anyway, the reason I printed out this whole list, the reason why I wanted to talk about all the big Nindies and the little Nindies and the exclusive Nindies, is that they're showing an effort here. I
like this.
Yes.
that's
This is
great.
good news.
Why do you like this, Jones?
Because I want stuff on that console.
Yeah.
And small stuff is a great way to pad out that launch library. Because we can talk about AAA and big franchises that we've been waiting for. I just want something to play,
Mm-hmm.
And like I would rather have something like they announced SteamWorld Dig 2, but when I don't know. That's a sequel. When are we getting that?
I might give you a date. Keep going on your point,
2018 or
though.
something.
Keep
But
going on your point.
I would be just as happy on that sized screen with something fun like that. It does not have to be, you know, something of a Zelda caliber. Obviously, it's exciting to get Zelda, but yeah, I was just frustrated that I'm like, it doesn't. You don't need to have all of the games at your launch be amazing, but have a lot of games.
Fill the gaps.
SteamWorld did 2 this summer.
Cool.
Yeah, Jones, to your point, I think it's super strong. They're saying Shovel Knight, a Spectre of Torment on launch day.
Yeah,
That's
They
early.
need that, yeah.
Launching only on the Switch.
especially because if you're getting a Switch and you haven't played Shovel Knight,
Yeah.
you're stoked.
Yeah.
That's
If you
gonna
haven't
be
played Shovel Knight,
awesome.
period yet.
I played that game on 3DS and loved it. Loved every single minute of it. You make that, you know, run better on a bigger screen
Yeah.
with new content. Like
When they announced that was I thought, man, I might have to take Zelda breaks.
now
which
that's
is the craziest
featuring
thought.
Spectre of Torment. So you can play the OG Shovel Knight, and it has the two DLCs. In it.
And you got the co-op now, also, right?
Yeah, you got co-op.
I have to buy the game. This will be my 4th time buying this game.
Give money, Brad.
I
Give
feel
it all
like,
the
I
Yacht
feel
Club.
good giving them money. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, you
Yeah.
deserve more money.
They deserve more money. Absolutely. Give it up.
Their first game too, right?
Yeah.
Yacht Club's
Yeah.
first game. Knocked it out of the park.
Flawless. And to your point again, Jones, I think it's huge that Blaster Master Zero comes out a week after launch. I think it's almost
Great.
intentional.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just to, I think, get momentum, have this huge game, this huge cool. It has a cool factor to it from people who love that NES game and who love that Wii game. That
Yeah, a little
Damiani had
nostalgia
reviewed.
never hurt.
Street cred.
Street cred,
Launch a new
exactly.
Nintendo console, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty positive, and it is going to 3DS as well. But I
Yeah,
think we'll
I mean,
all
it's
look at
cool.
it as a Switch
You
launch.
can play on Switch, yeah.
Yeah. So, Brad, do you think this will be enough to? We talk a lot about Nintendo really needs to get third parties on board. Do you think this initiative, hey, we care about indie games, do you think this could possibly help the console going forward?
I think it'll help it, but it's not enough.
It's not
because
enough.
like most of these games are going to other systems too, and most gamers out there have an Xbox or a PS4 or whatever. So I don't know if a lot will buy it again, or they're just like, oh, it's a cool thing to fill a gap, but you don't need to buy a Switch to play a lot of those games, kind of thing like that. That's not enough.
But if you got that Switch,
If you got the Switch,
you know,
though,
if a Deus
If
Ex
you
comes
got the
out or a
Switch-
Tomb Raider comes out or something, and they're like, oh yeah, it's also on Switch. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
If it's the only console I'll play, I'll play that game on it. But like, I'm not gonna play the worst version of that game,
Yeah.
exclusively on this system. But like a SteamWorld Dig 2, yes, I will totally play that on this system
I
because the
dig
Switch
this
is what I
point,
play
Jones.
in my last 30 minutes before I pass out and go to bed, and I'll just I'll grab my Switch and like, yes, I need these small games where we're not freaking out and doing graphical comparisons and showing off. Oh, it runs so much worse on Switch. Like, no, it needs those games. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's not like I don't think it's gonna be a huge thing, but it's a nice thing to fill the gaps to have people to keep playing, like, so there won't be a drought kind of thing like that. That they can have little indies fill up space in between games.
And what was the one that said it was like Battle something? Pocket Rumble. Pocket Rumble.
Yeah, the fighting game.
It's a Steam Early Access right now, but best version is on the Switch.
Why is it the best version?
Because you want to play that thing portably. It looks like a little Wonder Swan game.
okay.
Absolutely. Get that thing
I
portable.
mean, I would buy it on the Switch. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. So yeah, the Advance Wars game, War Groove is the name of that game. But again, that's just the Switch version's the
Yeah.
best one.
Yeah.
It just gives me hope that Nintendo is talking to people.
Yeah.
Like,
They're
hopefully they'll be
clearly
more
making
committed,
deals. They're doing some greasy palm deals,
which
for
is
sure.
great. They need to.
But I don't see these smaller releases being bad, like being like a side thing. It's like, oh, we really want those big AAA games, but like, I will have these too. It's like, these could be better than the AAA games.
Yeah.
These could be the experiences I'm actually seeking out on this console. Because it's like, no, I'm playing these other big games. I'm playing Shadow of War on my PS4 or Xbox One or PC. I'm not playing that on my Switch.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, SteamWorld Dig 2.
I think it's a good. This is where they have their. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Do you all hear that?
oh.
Oh, sounds like it's podcast halftime.
The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of February. Michael Kozachenko, you can find at Misha Koz. Mango. iKeyless. Need a new car key or remote? iKeyless.com has been in the key replacement business since 2002. Check them out today, and they can help save you up to 75% off of the dealership's prices. If you type in offer code EZA at checkout, you'll get 15% off of your order. Steve Lichman. Life's tough when you're a lich, and Steve's no different. Join Steven and his monster friends for their everyday lives down in the dungeon, battling handsome heroes, muscular magicians, and deep depression. Books 1 and 2 are available for pre-order for a limited time only. Check out the 90-page preview free at stevelichman.com. Neobites, a YouTube channel dedicated to bringing you the most up-to-date news in gaming and all-around entertainment. Check out their official video podcast, Bit News, weekly at youtube.com/neobites. Audio versions can be found on SoundCloud and iTunes. Scorn, an atmospheric horror adventure developed by Ebb Software set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. Go to scorn-game.com for more information. Sweet Justice, a sound design company based in England that's worked on Battlefield, Mirror's Edge, and Call of Duty. You can see and hear their work at www.sweetjustice.audio. All these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you.
Thank you, sponsors.
That's February, everybody.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, that must mean this is a producer thanks episode.
It is. Stay tuned. And stay tuned next week for maybe a new sponsor or two.
Ooh.
Might be shuffling it up
tease.
next month.
March,
I love it, yeah.
the year of the 1 year
I hate-
anniversary.
I hate to say goodbye to sponsors, but I love saying hello to new sponsors.
The year of the 1 year anniversary.
The year of the 1 year anniversary. They had the year of Luigi, man. We can have a whole year being a 1 year old. I'm pumped for it. It's now time for love and respect.
Love and respect.
He's got those fresh
He
batteries.
sounds
so
so good.
Yeah.
I think last time was when he was like dying on us.
Yeah. He's got some fresh batteries. Thank you. Thank you to our community who supports us that way.
Yeah, thank you.
What if you put in like a fresh battery and he played a different song?
Oh my god.
Wouldn't that be the craziest thing ever?
That'd be so amazing.
Love and respect.
That's what he looks like. He looks like he should be like. Instead, that strange haunting tune. We're getting closer. I'm getting some positive tweets about finding the source of the song.
Oh.
We're not there yet.
So at least one person trolled you this week regarding
At least one
that.
person
Good.
is trolling me. Yeah.
Good job.
So I like when we get news topics that I don't have in the other part of the episode within Love and Respect. Here
Yes.
we go. Hey allies. So with the news today of Twitch starting to sell games along with giving streamers a cut, I'd be interested to hear yourselves discuss the responsibility of streamers and YouTubers in marketing a game, their effect on sales, and whether you would ever see yourselves selling games via Twitch for a cut. Love and respect, Mika. This is a complicated subject.
I can see myself selling anything.
Ouch. Yeah.
Give-
I hear you. I mean,
I can picture it.
clearly I'm not above selling out. Yeah. It's. But I do think there's something to this.
Yeah.
There's something to going. Oh, this game's so fun.
Yeah.
And you have it linked to the sales of
Yeah,
the game.
yeah.
You know, I see that could be an issue going forward. Damiani, you seem to have kind of been up on this because we did internally talk about it, whether we should do
Oh,
this
yeah.
or not.
Yeah, we sort of did.
Yeah.
And fully talked about it.
It was announced to the group. We haven't come to a consensus.
I see it as problematic for new games for anyone who if you review video games and you're also pushing the sales of games, I think that might be crossing the line. I feel
Why?
like this because then you have a financial interest in that. You're getting compensated in some way for that, even if it's not them directly coming to you, hey, we'll pay you to review this game or something. By you reviewing this game and it's also available to buy on your page,
You're incentivized to give it a higher score.
It's basically like it is GameStop's reviewing games. We're going to put reviews on GameStop.com.
Yeah.
Also, here are the links to buy these games. Here's a nice review from us about this game.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as that, obviously, but
they have Game Informer, by the way.
You're walking towards that, yeah.
They have a magazine.
But you are walking. But most people know Game Informer is a shill
It's
publication of.
How dare you?
Yeah,
Damiani, how dare you? I won't allow that on the podcast.
really,
Yes.
really.
I like Game Informer.
Yes. Stop
They
me.
have some good exclusives. I'll say that.
It's not a shill magazine. How dare you?
Every time I go to that store and they're like, "Here's a Game Informer description. Here's a Game Informer description."
GameStop is shilling Game Informer.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean
Okay. Sorry. Yes, I totally realized I said that backwards. I'm really sorry.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I was
Oh,
very
man,
good at that.
confused.
Sorry,
I was
I got
very
that
offended.
backwards. That was a really egregious mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. They always push it at GameStop and
Yeah.
stuff.
Right.
But, like,
I wouldn't
they're-
subscribe to that if it
But
wasn't. I get
but
what you're saying.
On the
Yeah.
other side of it, yes,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
is that suspect, the looming suspect that people like. Aren't they associated with GameStop?
Yeah.
When you go in there and they're pushing on you, it's a little weird. It's like, wait, you guys are connected and stuff?
Yeah.
Because there's that connection there that it does cast that suspicion.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're just playing a game like on Twitch innocently and you're like, hey, someone's like, where'd you get that? And stuff like, oh, it's available on Steam. That's kind of harmless because you're like, that's where I literally got it from. But now if you have that button right there and it's like you could buy it on your page if you're like, hey, I'm playing, League of Legends, go buy League of Legends.
Yeah.
It's like, is it really that innocent? Because look at YouTubers who cover stuff. And all the controversies have been around some of them about how transparent they've really been about their ties and how much money's changing hand and stuff. Whether it is publishers coming out to them to pay them for positive coverage or having financial ties to other sites through the whole, the betting stuff, the skins and stuff with the Valve stuff and all that happened. There's people like that transparency there. And this, I feel, invites that criticism on a level. It might be the most bottom, lowest level of it, but you've taken that first step now. And anything you do after that involves any kind of transactions involving games that you cover, that you review, it now that you are going to be under that microscope.
Yeah.
Even harsher.
So, Brad, tonight we streamed a bunch of Wii U games. Mm-hmm. What if while we were streaming that game and having a great time, someone said, man, I would really like to buy Mario 3D World. Mm-hmm. And we just click this button. Mm-hmm. We make ourselves $2 sweet bucks. Is
I
that
don't
a
know.
problem?
It feels dicey with the whole thing because we review games and everything like that, and it feels like the impression that we would want to give games good scores and we would stream it because we want people to buy it. Gives me a weird vibe like that. I don't like it. It's
Okay.
dirty.
Jones, is this dirty?
No.
Okay. That's what I love.
Well, that's a different question. Yes, it is.
This is dirty.
Sure. I see dirtiness across the entire spectrum of doing what we do. Everything is a little dirty. Scoring a game is dirty. If you score a game, I gave Horizon Zero Dawn 4 stars. I could have given it 5 stars, but I didn't. So you don't see my score on the advertising for Horizon Zero Dawn. You see Giant Bomb, who gave it 5 stars. We gave Last Guardian 5 stars, so guess our score is all over all of the advertisements for Last Guardian, which is great for us. So we clearly only scored Last Guardian 5 stars because we wanted to be in those commercials, right?
So you're saying you're
At face value, it seems so.
you're
At face value, I could
incentivized-
make that
you're
argument. The
incentivized
only
to
reason
give it high
Easy
scores.
Allies gave that 5 stars is not because they liked it, but because they wanted to be in that commercial, because they wanted that Bloodworth quote to be in there. Well, why not?
The high score
I don't understand how the Twitch thing is dirty, but that's like, oh, I understand that.
The
It's
argument's
like,
always in it. You get exclusives because you give high scores. So when you are like the first publication to have a review and it's high, people question, oh, you only got that exclusive because you told them you were giving it like a 9 or out of 10 or higher or something like that.
How could you say no to Jones's point, though? I think it's a valid point.
I mean,
The way we have things right
I just
now-
don't see why one is
No,
like,
because your
what
reviews-
the consumer's like, I understand that, but the buying thing through Twitch, you're clearly crooked. It's like, I just think in every aspect of the review process, you're going to stumble across something that you're giving your user tons of opportunities to be like, wait a minute.
Am I allowed to pull back the curtain here?
Ooh,
in
yeah,
the
let's
industry,
pull it
or is this
back, baby.
We're getting ad revenue on the review as well. We're making money on that. It's like there's all sorts of and the thing is, I just want to say this really quick.
Yeah.
I like the challenge. Like that's the thing. Like I want to try it so we can see if our community's cool with it. It's like I want to approach these things that make people slightly uncomfortable to try to break down those barriers of like. I'm trying to think, what was the YouTuber who also made a product that he was selling at the same time but said he didn't?
Oh, that guy. No, forget about him. The Call of Duty guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares?
But it's like the reason that guy got in trouble was because he wasn't transparent. And like that's the thing is I'm okay with things like this as long as we are transparent in doing it. Like if we have a game that we're excited about, that we scored highly because you knew we were excited about it and we played it and it turned out being good and we made the review that we worked really hard on. You can tell we worked hard on it to express our opinion. And then we're streaming it after the fact. And yeah, if you wait to buy it through Twitch, through us, we get a cut of that. So like, yay, celebration all around. It's like, if you watch us while we're streaming that and we're super creepy about it and we're bringing it up every 30 seconds, oh, by the way, you can buy this on Twitch. Like there's a way to do it that's good. There's a way to do it that's bad. I just don't think, by itself, just looking at it on paper, it's like, that's bad. And there's no way to do that well. I think there is a way to do it and not be creepy.
You would be interested in doing this program with Twitch?
I'm curious about it, yeah.
Huh.
It hasn't gotten my complete 100% thumbs up, but
All right, Damiani, you teased something that we have to acknowledge. You said,
Yeah,
can I peel the curtain back right now?
Yeah, but I want to say something about that. Whenever, like with advertising and ad revenue, there's two things or several things about that. One, editorial is always supposed to have an iron wall between an iron curtain drawn between them and people who deal with the ad sales and stuff.
Yeah, but
like,
when you put stuff on YouTube, there's no
you
iron
don't,
wall.
but you don't control that. You don't know who's buying your ad, so you are not being tainted because you are not directly dealing with the people who are paying for that ad space.
Yes,
so they
you're
can't the illusion of being influenced because that's what it used to be with publication. Even at Game Trolls, be like, hey, or IGN or any site, it'd be like, who's sponsoring you this month? Oh, I'm seeing all these ads for this game. You just reviewed that game.
It's the old Kane and Lynch problem.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Going that way, so that has always been there, and the defense has always been that editorial is never allowed to deal with the people who try to do direct ad sales. There's a sales department for that, or people who deal with that, and anyone who deals in that is never allowed to do product reviews because that is how you keep the line drawn there.
Yeah.
And so for pulling back
let's peel it back.
None of those people can use any of those quotes and stuff without approaching you first and asking for your approval.
Yeah.
People will be like, so when you do those quotes and stuff, they usually have a list of sites that they go to, and yes, there are some people who probably out there think like, if I give a good score, they might get on there.
Yeah.
But publishers are going to find whoever gives the best scores, period, and just cherry pick from them and ask those people for that. You might be able to give it a high score, but there's no guarantee that's going to happen. Like, it's not guaranteed.
It's not guaranteed, but it's incentivized. It's incentivized.
It's pot luck.
It's a good thing to be in one of those ads. It absolutely is. That's to Jones's point. It's absolutely good to be in a commercial. To have your name on a TV commercial is good.
I mean, same. Sure, it's same thing.
Over it.
I mean, same thing being on Metacritic. It's exposure and stuff.
Yeah.
But you're really
it's
telling
not the same thing at all. Being on Metacritic, you're on television. Somebody's watching the NBA Finals, and there is your name of your outlet on the television in a commercial for a video game.
Yeah.
They're selling that game and you at the same time.
I mean, if that. Okay.
That blows my mind. That's worth little to nothing to Damiani.
Okay, I'll concede you're right, but if you're doing that, you should not be reviewing games. Get the hell out, please.
Yes, if that's the only reason that you gave that a high score, it's incredibly
Exactly.
And I highly doubt anyone but fan sites and like low-level enthusiast press outlets are writing for that reason because they just want to make a name for themselves. Big boy outlets, they just think like, hey, we're either going to get it or not, and whoop-de-doo. Like, whenever Bloodworth or somebody like, hey, Nintendo wants to use a quote from this, or Sony wants to use a quote from this, like, just make sure that they use the quote correctly. I don't care. Like, to me, the review's out there. It's public. Like, I don't understand why they have to ask permission unless they're going to edit it, which they usually do. They try and, like, they have to send you. It's to make sure they don't put words in your mouth for,
take out a lot of
take it out of context.
Yes, that's why they have to do it, which is a good practice.
This game is ... adjective.
But if you were using it verbatim, the exact words without, like, editing or anything like that, your review's out there. There's no one stopping you. That's how Metacritic exists. That's what I guess I was trying to make the point was that people can take your words and your scores and already do that anyway. So it's just like out there. So I don't. What do you do? If someone decides to put it on television or whatever, that's cool. But that chance of that happening is just like that's such a small factor that I think you're delusional if that's why you were thinking about writing a review.
Well, the reason why Jones brought that up is back to the Twitch example. And Brad, I'm going to make you answer this. So that it is incentivized. We've kind of agreed it's incentivized. It's you do get rewarded for writing a great review and writing great words about the review because you can potentially get in a TV commercial. But that doesn't happen very often. But we have to assume, we have to trust everybody that that's not why they're doing that. And so do you think we would have the same trust in Twitch streamers? That they're not having a good time, they're not pretending and putting on a face to get us to order the game that they're playing?
I don't know. For us, because we do reviews, I worry about just like losing the trust of the reader or something like that, or the viewer, who think we're just shilling out for a kind of thing like that. And we're not being honest, like...
So we
give a game a score because we honestly believe that kind of thing. I don't want people to think we're giving game scores just because it'll give us some gain for some sort of way.
Sure.
Like, I mean, making more money is always great, yeah. But I just, like, it's a dicey thing to do. I don't know about it.
And I think that depends more on the scripts that we write and the way that we carry ourselves on Twitch as opposed to necessarily the policies we sign up for.
Yeah.
That like the fact that we like may or may not sign up for this service is indicative of our trust level. They're like, no, don't trust Easy Allies because they signed up for that. It's like, no, I trust Easy Allies because I watched their streams and they legitimately seemed like they had a good time playing Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Like, and that's what I like about Twitch is it kind of it's real hard to lie like that. And I think it's going to get harder and harder as these generations grow up that are used to reality television and Twitch streaming and just getting just this one-to-one direct relationship with people. That's like, I can tell this feels fake. I don't like this. You know, I'd rather that be the determinant than, oh, I just don't like I just boycott channels that do that. Period.
I mean, I also want to add that I think for retro games, it's going to be less of a problem. But I get the impression that Twitch wants to push this more for newer games.
Oh, yeah.
Because publishers want newer games to sell.
100%.
Yeah. So it's going to definitely push that. I have less of an objection to like, hey, we're playing Super Mario 64. Go buy Super Mario 64 somehow, somewhere, through some service. It's like, okay,
let's just say that now. Hey, everybody watching this, go buy Mario 64.
Yeah, I hear it's good. Rumors of
And
quality.
Amazon, give us some money for that. Twitch, give us some money for that. Okay, so let's talk about a game. Let's do a game. Hello, allies. I've got a game for the panel and Kyle. I'm calling it Breaking In. There are some game franchises which are incredibly massive, and many newcomers want to know where to break into them. Great. Should they go in release or story order? Should they start with the more simple, straightforward stuff, or dive into the deep end? Our favorite entrants in a series aren't always the best starting point for newbies. So, the challenge is for you to choose the best game for someone who has never touched any of the games in the series to start off with for each of the following franchises.
We can't lose.
Yep. Okay, so let's do it.
No wrong answers. I'm assuming.
Lego games. What's the entry point?
Lego Marvel.
Yeah, good pick, Jones.
Yeah.
I love Lego Marvel.
It's the most wide open. Lord of the Rings is my favorite, but it's the most wide open.
You don't have to have seen any
probably
movies.
got the most. It's got. If you're like a general Marvel fan, you'll have a lot of characters that you're familiar with. A lot of characters that have great functionality. Lots of characters that fly. But it's also gonna have those deep cuts, which is like one of the best things about Lego. That you like going to play Lego Indiana Jones. You're like, oh yeah, I remember that guy from Temple of Doom. That guy's great. You know, it's got like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you've been living under a rock, like you probably know Luke Cage and you know,
And it's so
even
fun
just
to-
kind of the BC tier Marvel
You just have
characters.
New York City. It's just so fun to roam around.
And it's open world, so you can run around.
Okay.
Great
Any
for all
objections
ages.
to Lego Marvel?
I would just throw out there Lego Batman 2 also. I believe that's the one
Two
that-
specifically.
Because it's the one where you have Gotham City, right? You can explore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool, man. Batman's better than any Avenger.
Repetitive music though. Don't they just
okay.
don't they just use like
I'm not
Batman
sure
and Batman
about that.
Returns like ad nauseum
Probably,
like over and
yeah,
over
you're
and over
probably
and
right
over?
on that.
Jones,
Yeah.
you're always in on those soundtracks.
Ugh.
This is hard for me. Pokemon.
The latest and greatest,
Ooh,
baby.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you think so, Jones?
That was a whole. Have you read my review script? It'll go up soon.
Yeah, there's so many Pokemon now, though, and I think that's intimidating. I think it's intimidating to hop into a game. It's like there's 700 of these
But there's not 700 in
in the game.
Sun and Moon.
Right.
I
So-
just think that's one of the best things about Sun and Moon is that it's just so inviting. You know, like
You're
it's like
right, it totally
nothing
is.
to worry about. There's zero stress.
What's up, Damiani?
Wait, are you done?
Yeah. Or Snap.
Maybe Heart Gold or Soul Silver.
Yeah, I hear you there. I hear you there. It's-
They were updated, so they have more features.
they still have like too many features, though. Even Heart Gold and Soul Silver
Really?
to me are over featured.
I mean, everyone kept saying like X, Y were like the good ones to jump in on at that point, but then they had so much in that as well. Like if you're talking about like it's just too overwhelming, like those are kind of overwhelming games.
Yeah.
I mean, where do you go?
I kind of want to say Red and Blue.
That's what I was gonna do.
I kind of want to say Red and Blue.
Low
Oh,
amount
not
of
even the
Pokemon.
remakes. Just
Not even Red Jones.
OG?
You had a good time. did
I
you
I had a
not?
fantastic time, and I've heard
Yeah.
from many people on social media that they did the same thing we did with Brandon Plays Pokemon, and they
There
loved
is
it.
a magic to Red and Blue that I still don't see in other games. I kind of say enter in that point.
Sure.
You're gonna let me have this one panel?
I'm with you on
What
that
about
one. I love that one.
just to get people exposed?
What?
Pokemon Go.
Actually, I don't think it's bad. We're
It's
talking
a great
about-
introduction
we're
to the
talking about
characters
entry
themselves,
points.
yeah.
Yeah, Damiani, I don't think it's a bad suggestion.
A nice, easy
And if they
way
like
to
it,
get
you can be like, hey, here are the actual games
Yeah.
that have the rest of the stuff that makes
And I kind of
Pokemon
think
great.
I think it was an entry point. I think Sun and Moon sold well because of Pokemon Go.
No question. Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think it's a bad idea.
All right. Damiani did it.
Pokemon
Nice.
Go, Mega Man.
There we
Start
go.
with 2.
Start with 2.
Yeah.
What if it's too hard and I give up on Mega Man
Well,
altogether?
you're talking just Mega Man. You're not talking Mega Man X or anything like that.
We are, absolutely.
Oh, you're
The
throwing
whole
everything
series.
in?
Yeah. Entire franchises here.
Man. I would say Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 3 are like the best NES ones.
Yeah.
They're like perfection on those ones.
I'm kind of with you. I think if you're not digging 2 and 3, you're not gonna like Mega Man.
Like, I think X is different enough, especially though. Like, that's the tricky thing, is like X is different enough from the original ones.
X is a really well designed game, and it still looks really good.
Yeah, Mega Man X.
Should we just start with X?
Doesn't 2 just start with that kick-ass track?
Mega Man 2?
Isn't 2 from
and
the
go
beginning?
up there.
Like, if you're not into that vibe, just back away. Like,
Sure.
if you're not 10 minutes into Mega Man 2 being like,
I'm trying to think. Like, didn't Mega Man 9? I know I reviewed it, so I apologize for forgetting this. I thought they had an item shop where you could buy stuff.
Yeah.
To kind of make things like the bird who would save you from falling. Like there was like easy like saving things to make it easier to progress through the level if you're having a harder time.
Good point.
So I don't like and if you like, hey, once you've gotten your training wheels off, if you like 9 and you can deal with that. Here's like 2 and 3, which are the best in the series.
The Mega Man collection game that came out last year has save states though.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend
That-
those.
and
Just save
it's
states.
like-
Save scum it. Just don't be afraid.
Mega Man 2 and 3 are all about like just precision, and
Yeah.
like that's what that franchise is to me.
Okay.
And it represents it perfectly. Precision and grace.
Let's do Mega Man 2. Let's do it.
okay.
With save states.
Yeah.
Mega Man 2
Buy
with
the
save
Mega
states.
Man
I-
collection.
Yeah.
Still like X up, it's just so different.
Oh, I love X.
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah,
love
that's
X.
a game, the Mega Man collection that just came out.
Yeah.
There you go.
Buy
There's
that.
your game. Yeah, buy that.
Skip one.
Skip 1.
Yeah.
Skip one.
Assassin's Creed.
Ooh. Ooh, I don't know about this one.
It's hard, right?
Because this is like a story-based game too.
Yeah.
Probably 2. I love Brotherhood. I'm playing through Brotherhood now.
Yep.
To me, Brotherhood is 2 with just a couple more fun things sprinkled on top. But the story in Brotherhood's like...
Ezio collection, man.
it's
Grab
so
that.
crazy.
I mean,
to
if that's
say this,
technically like a title to buy, yeah.
But the series has advanced so far from 2, it's crazy to me to go say start with 2.
Has it?
That's my question.
I mean, it has, but I
Uh-huh.
think it's tricky because with this question, you want to have them play a game that's super fun, but you also want to have a game that introduces them to the rest of the franchise. They can get a sense of like what the rest of it is like, and you would hope that if you were a fan of this franchise, if you were to hand this game off to somebody, it would be like the gateway drug that they're like, oh, I got to play the rest of these.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if you're gonna play. I always forget the last one. Not Unity, but yeah. Syndicate. If you play Syndicate, why go back? Why?
Yeah.
Like, I maybe go back and play Black Flag. The Brotherhood system with the assassin, I just love that. Like, but again, the story's not that great.
Okay.
Whereas, like, if you get into that Ezio series and you see like what makes him an assassin, then if you play 4, you can appreciate Kenway being kind of different. And if you play Syndicate, you can get see the brother sister vibe and what that means and like their how they want to be assassins and their relationship to the whole lineage.
I hear it.
Plus, you
Jones.
get the Desmond thing, which clearly the more recent games were missing. That kind of
Let's do 2.
future thread.
Let's lock in 2. I'm cool
Okay.
with it. You sold me on it. I was going to say no, but you sold me. This one's really hard. Final Fantasy. Where do you start? I want to get into Final Fantasy games. Where do I start?
That's hard now. I get asked this a lot,
14?
actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
And you say 14, Jones?
That's such
14?
a different game, though.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
different.
So
compared to the other ones.
14 is really easy to get into now, but I don't know if that's why I tell people to start with the
9.
Final Fantasy series.
9's a good
9.
entry point. 9 is absolutely a good entry
9,
point.
baby.
I usually recommend 10 because there's the HD collection of it, and it's a really solid game.
9's on
Yeah.
Steam. Looks good.
9's on Steam, yeah, that's true.
Oh, it's so.
But 10's on PS4, PS3,
I
Steam.
feel 9's just like that perfect modern. It's
Yeah.
3D, but it's so classic. It's so
Yeah.
It's the last thing
Well,
Sakaguchi really put
You're
his
sta- you're
his
starting with
fingerprint
one of the
on.
best.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think here's what I like. You think about how easily somebody could get turned off too.
Yeah.
It always sucks to recommend something to somebody and they're just like, "Nah, I kind of hated the first 5 minutes. I'm done." I can see that happening with 10.
I mean, I could see that happening with literally any of them because they're all different.
Yeah, but 10 to me does not have a strong start.
It's not. Yeah, it's 10's not charming.
Rocky, what are you thinking? The Blitzball game going
talking
on,
about?
man?
No. It's
Xanarkin, like,
it's the
crumbling?
It's the sad vibes, and it's just like It's them just like hanging out at a campfire, and you
That's
see
like
like the little
30
lights.
And then it goes to him going
Yeah.
to his blitzball game,
Yeah.
and then this giant attack by Sin, and it's like, what's going on? Like, all in like span of like 20
Yeah,
minutes.
ramps up, dude.
Amazing CG sequences.
Are they amazing today, though? This is somebody who's just
the
hopping
seamless, how seamless they transition from gameplay to CG movie with no loading. It's just like a
Will
frame
that impress
transition.
somebody today?
When I was playing through the HD version, which
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a full playthrough.
Whoa.
When I started playing through it for
You heard it
fun.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I told everyone on the stream I was gonna do that. Oh crap! I gotta remember to cut that out.
Full scoop.
Zelda interrupted that. I was like, wow, I don't know if the original version had it like this, but man, they really nail these transitions. I mean, this definitely looks different, but it's like that. There's snap. I was like, whoa, that's really good.
Final Fantasy VII does it.
No, they do where it's the pre-rendered background.
Yeah.
And it has that one few frames where like it comes to life.
Yeah.
And it animates it and it comes to that.
Yeah.
But that's still using the existing thing. It's just playing a video in the background. This is like changing to a loaded CG movie.
I don't think it'd have the impact. I think somebody today who's not played any Final
But
Fantasy games.
I'm not advocating. Sorry, we're on a
Yeah.
whole.
There's
tangent
no way
here.
we're
I
getting
don't
to a
know if
consensus on
yeah.
this.
Like,
We got 2 votes for 9.
I mean, honestly,
Oh, okay, there we go. We won.
Oh, you did 9? I mean, screw it. I would, yeah, my vote would go towards, like, find a free trial weekend, play 14, have people make you do the stuff that's related to all the retro things, and be like, hey, did you like this character? Did you like this character? Did you like this fight? Well, it's originally from this game, so go play that game. Like,
That's the opposite. Those things are there for people to go like, I remember that.
I'm gonna recommend the one that got a lot of people into Final Fantasy. Period. 7.
7's a good
And you
recommendation.
got the PS4 version, Steam also HD.
Yeah.
Good to go.
4.
4 is a great
4
pick.
is a cool pick.
And not the 3DS one.
Yeah.
The DS one.
So you got to play the.
Ouch.
the-
No, why
the
you gotta
PSP
play the DS one? That
No,
was cool.
the PSP collection is the best
get it
version.
on your,
Oh,
your
boy.
Vita.
Yeah.
I liked it on the DS. I'm gonna skip. We gotta wrap up this game. Let's do Kirby though. Kirby
I have
is
no
tricky.
idea.
All Star.
It's your idea.
I think All Star's right. I think that's just the
Or
right
is it
answer.
Superstar? I forgot. Is it All Star? or
Superstar. It's
Superstar.
Kirby
Smash
Superstar.
Brothers.
Yeah, Superstar.
Smash okay.
Epic yarn.
Resident Evil.
Now that's hard.
That's tricky.
This is a hard one because it has evolved so much.
I would have to do my
Yeah.
duty
There's like 3
and
entry points now.
recommend one remake. Resident Evil remake. I'd have to do my duty.
Okay.
That's a yeah. That gets my vote too.
You know what my
There's
vote
no
is?
like right answer to this.
My
Every
vote is
single
7.
one. Yeah. It's
Like, but that's
such
like
a.
the
It's
third
so
new-
different.
That's like
it's so
that's
different.
Like third era right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
it's
Old era 4, 5, 6, and now
Yeah,
this.
it's yeah, 'cause they change all the time.
It's the smallest hurdle. I want you to get into the franchise. This is the easiest way to ease you in.
I think 4 is easy. Easy way to get people
Yeah,
in.
4 is really good. That's a really easy way to get people in.
And it's like, you don't have to know a lot, I guess, going into 4.
You don't.
It's like,
You absolutely don't.
The movies.
who's Leon? Whatever. Yeah, it's like, who's this Napoleon guy?
So we think 4?
I still go remake
I would go remake.
because to me 4 in its current state
Yeah.
does kind of step behind a lot of genre, a lot of games, you know, Gears and stuff like that that
have improved upon
have
it.
taken that model and moved it forward.
Yeah.
Whereas like a lot of people just kind of left behind that Resident Evil remake model. It still just kind of exists, preserved, perfect.
Yeah.
In
And
that
it
original
actually-
form.
It currently has an alternate control scheme that Huber hates, but is more like games today.
Yeah, it's
with
easier.
But you can
Yeah,
pick
yeah.
either or, and,
Yeah,
you
and
can
God,
switch
HD, it just holds up like
Yeah,
crazy.
great
Those
looking
environments
game.
look so good.
Still really
All right,
fun.
I'll allow it. The Legend of Zelda. Where do you start?
I would give A Link to the Past, probably.
Okay, then I quit.
I get this.
I've never played Zelda before. I play A Link to the Past. I'm
Yeah.
not liking
5
these
minutes in,
fights.
I'm out.
I
You
quit.
are one in
never
a
playing this
million.
Zelda game.
You're 1 in a million.
I get asked this all the time.
Okay, so what is the answer?
Ocarina of Time 3D.
I think it's right.
The
If you-
DS
if you-
one?
I think
3DS,
that's true.
if
I
you
think that's
have
right.
Yeah.
Especially if
Yes.
they somehow. If Nintendo's smart, they'll
Okay.
put it on Switch.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
that will,
Ooh, yeah.
that will be
Yes.
the version.
Yeah.
Go play. That is how you tell everyone to get into Zelda.
Don't
Go
be
play.
shy. Just put it on Switch. Don't
It
be
doesn't
too
have to be 3D.
cute.
It's called like Ocarina of Time
Yep.
Switch or whatever.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to make that money. Just do it.
Like
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
that is a really like good one. I mean, and OG Ocarina of Time's good, but like
Yeah.
this, I think it's a little easier for people. Like they made the adaptations, the enhancements. Like the water temple has freaking
Oh, yeah,
like,
the
arrows on it.
And
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
boots you could just do
The
right there.
screen, it's easy to
Yeah.
swap the
The
menu.
character models look better.
Yeah, it looks better. It's
Yeah.
not as tedious to go through the menu and stuff. They just refined it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really easily playable and it's not too terribly difficult.
Best game ever made.
Yeah, I think the 2D ones are just gonna. As much as I love them, I think a lot of them are just be too overwhelming for people.
The pass isn't overwhelming.
So many people when I tell them you tell them that and it's their first game, they just get so lost in that game, and you'd be like,
What do you mean get lost?
Why are they getting?
There's literally numbers telling you where you can go.
Yes, I know.
But
I agree with you.
No, there's stuff that you have to do in the overworld. There's other stuff.
It's not. Yeah. I wouldn't pick Skyward. If Skyward Sword didn't have motion controls, I actually might suggest it, just because it's newer and
just like we said, it's a shorter hurdle, basically. Yeah.
What was the other one?
Jones, did you have a pick?
Yeah. Do you have anyone?
For Ocarina of Time.
Okay, I think that's the right answer. I think it's just the way to go for your first.
Oh, if not that one, the Wind Waker HD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely. Why did you laugh at that, Jones?
It's just the history.
Okay. Finally, Mario.
This is really hard because there's 2D and 3D Mario, and they're so drastically different.
I've never played a Mario game before. Where do I start?
You either make someone play Super Mario World, or you make them play probably Galaxy.
Whoa, Galaxy?
Yeah.
Brad, is that right?
I was thinking Super Mario World or Galaxy in my mind.
Whoa. Jones, is that right?
World's not a bad call. Yeah, I like World.
Just because, I'm not getting into the debate of 3 versus World. I just think 3 would be easier for people to get in because it doesn't look as old.
You mean World?
You mean World?
World, yeah. World looks. It's the Super Nintendo game. It looks a little bit better sprite work.
Yeah.
So it might go over better with people. It has a few more mechanics in it, but
Yoshi.
You know what's a funny thing about Mario 3? It's a beautiful game to me.
Yeah.
On the right side of the screen, there's always this weird discolored bar.
Yeah.
We kind of just put up with that.
It's because.
Can you imagine that today?
No.
Because there's just a weird discolored bar on the right side of the screen.
Feature.
Yeah, and we're just like, that is really
authentic discolored bar.
I can see why that would be unappealing to people. I get why you would do World.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a Super Mario World review out there from the 90s who are like, and they got rid of that bar on the right, which I thought was a good call.
Big
Next gen, baby.
I mean, I know some people might ask why not one of the new Super Mario Brothers games instead.
Oh, the new Super Mario
One
Bros.
of those for 2D.
No.
I don't think they do anything better in those, though.
Yeah. Galaxy, just because, while I personally think anyone should eventually play Super Mario 64, I feel like if you did not play that when it came out, going back to its controls, if you played any kind of games, like modern games, it's going to be a little bit jarring for you, especially if you have to use the N64 controller.
Yeah.
But if you play on Virtual Console, I have a feeling like its camera system stuff are just going to frustrate a lot of people. To someone like me where it feels natural, I still prefer that game over any of the 3D Marios, but Galaxy is polished enough where I feel like you can jump into it, people get it, it's simple, it still kind of delivers on that the what made Mario 64 good in my opinion. I would not point people towards Sunshine first, just because
You got to work up to it.
you gotta work up to it.
You're not ready for Sunshine.
We're looking for short hurdles.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you for all you guys do. Much love and respect always. Miki, aka Gray Jumpers on Twitter and in chat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Should have asked they were RPG fans.
Why?
Super Mario RPG.
Ooh, that is
I would
not an
not
entry
recommend
point.
that.
That's
Yeah,
not an
that's-
entry point. That does not set expectations for what you're going to play through the rest of the series.
That was a joke.
Okay, I don't want to do another hard. We went hard on each other for that other one, for the Twitch one. I don't want to do another one of those. Here we go. This is, hey allies. You may discuss this in the news section, but I have a question about the announcement of Ken Levine's new studio, Ghost Story Games. I, like many others, was shocked and saddened by the shuttering of Irrational back in 2014. While I am happy to see this team back in the industry, there is one issue I have that no one is talking about, not even in comment sections. Along with being a successor to Irrational, with several employees from the former team, Ghost Story Games will also assume Irrational's old Twitter account. Am I the only person who finds this a little devious? Does it bother you guys that they get to take advantage of their old fans and retain all their old followers? Why didn't they just keep Irrational open and restructure from within if they wanted to ride the coattails of the past projects? I could only come up with one logical analogy, and it would be like Konami turning the PT/Silent Hills Twitter page into an account for a random mobile game. Maybe I'm overreacting, but this seems like some backdoor shady deals, and I hope to hear what you guys think. Love and respect, D. Brinson98. So I love the way this question's written.
Yeah, there's no. This is not black and white. I mean, there's clearly examples of this you could do.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, obviously, we would have loved to have kept our 500,000 plus followers on game trailers.
I mean, this happened with us.
There's no way we would have said no to that. Starting
remember,
Easy Allies, if Defy was like, yeah, take it, fine. We're like, oh, wow, thanks.
I mean,
we'd have been like, no, we really want a grassroots.
But Jones, that happened. Do you remember we got picked up by Defy and they gave us like some offshoot channel for one of our YouTube channels? Do you remember what that? I can't remember the particulars.
It was
what it used to be.
I know.
Yeah,
it was Clever Games.
Yeah,
Clever Games.
News.
Right. Oh, yeah, Clever News. It's like you can just take all of those Clever News subscribers.
But that was Escapist News, and then it became us.
Yeah.
GT News.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That happens. We did that too.
Yeah. Well, people sell their channels too. You know, they're like, hey, I have so many Twitter followers. Who wants them? And you just buy it, change the name to whatever. So again, I don't think by definition it's creepy. And for a smaller team like this, it doesn't really bug me too much.
Can you bring that closer to Damiani?
Sorry.
It's all good. We need some selfie time. Sorry, repeat that, Jones?
I mean, how many people are still at this team? So it was this huge corporation doing this, but if it's just a small team, I'd have to really know person by person, like how many of those people moved over. Because if it's like more than half, then I think it's their feed. It's the work that they did.
And honestly, Ken Levine's huge. You say how many of those people? He's big enough, I think, to warrant the transference of Twitter followers. Oh, what?
Yeah.
I mean,
like I was thinking about.
When you think Irrational Games, you think him.
Right.
Maybe they just, as a compromise, they could have on their old Twitter account made a message saying, "Hey, if you want to follow us, come check out our new account over, whatever Ghost Story. What do they call it again?
Ghost Story Games.
Ghost Story Games. Yeah.
Doing that might have been more tasteful in some people, at least in this writer's eyes, if they'd done that. I guess I personally don't know enough of the story about the specifics of why they shut down, like internally, like what. No, like who made what calls and stuff. Like,
we kind of know, man.
I mean, I didn't. I just.
So here's what's up.
I saw the news and I just tuned out because I like BioShock 1. Everything after I just didn't care about. Like I played through Infinite. I didn't like it. I was just like, you know what? I'm over Irrational. I was like, that sucks. They're getting shut down.
So here's my impression of everything.
Like financial stuff. Like I didn't read all that stuff. I kind of tuned out from it.
Cool. So here's basically what happened. We might get corrections on this, but this is the general story. BioShock Infinite was a hard game to develop and really put everyone who worked on it through the ringer. At the end of this, Ken Levine says, I don't want to make another big game like that. I don't want to do that. Sorry, 2K. It will kill me. 2K said, we need another BioShock game that sold very well. We're going to make more, Ken. And he said, okay, fine. Just let me have my team. I just want to make small games. I want to make small, weird story games with sandbox story or something like that. I still don't quite understand his concept and what's going to happen with Ghost Story. But 2K said, fine. Whatever, we're going to reduce your team dramatically. So yeah, please reduce my team dramatically. 2K has said they're still going to keep the BioShock franchise going. It won't be from Irrational, though. No, maybe it will now. Maybe 2K will start up a new Irrational Studios now that Ghost Story Games is a thing. Who knows?
Well, someone else made BioShock 2.
Right.
Okay. Knowing that, how do they get to keep the Irrational Games Twitter handle if 2K was their owner before?
2K's cool with it.
So 2K gave the approval for it?
2K will be publishing Ken Levine's game.
Okay, then I'm sorry to this writer. I don't see any foul here.
Yeah.
With this.
The idea I think is that, hey, we loved BioShock. We don't love Ken Levine's little sandbox story game.
Unfollow it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One click.
Like when they rebrand and stuff, you see it on your feed. Just be like, all right, I don't support you guys. I don't like you, Ken Levine, for what you did and stuff. You killed BioShock. Done. That's how you feel. Mm-hmm. That's your right. Just your option. You have that option. I don't see it deceitful. They seem to be being completely honest and open about what they're doing.
they also made a big announcement on Twitter. So like I think one of the first tweets after they made that change was like, Irrational is now called Ghost Story Games. Here's our logo. Here's this thing. Whereas if they'd done that like middle of the night, just whoop, what? Yay, we're Ghost Story. And you're like, well, it used to be Irrational. And they're like, what? Irrational what? Like, that would be creepy.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what? So clearly something else. We don't use that word anymore.
D. Brinson, clearly you're feeling some apprehension. I gotta say, that's some pretty front door shady deals. Those are front door shady deals. It's all good stuff. They're doing the smart thing to do, I think.
But kudos on you for coming up with an issue that not a lot of people are talking about.
Yeah, and I kind of just wanted to cover the story too because I thought it was kind of that was a thing that happened this week. That was pretty cool. Let me do one more. When will the segment "What's in Damiani's mug" return? Love and respect, Ryan. Damiani, what's in your mug?
Oh, what's this?
Oh.
Hey guys, there's a cup right here.
Yeah. Is there anything in there?
A mug.
Huh?
I
nice
think
mug.
there's something on the other side.
What's on that?
Should I turn this around?
Sure.
Is that a relic from the past?
Oh, wow.
Oh, this is GT time. That's a good looking logo.
No,
Yeah.
what timeline is this from? Oh, there's something in here, guys.
There is. Is it coffee?
It's not coffee. What could this be?
I don't know. It looks like it's stuck right now.
It's not stuck. It's
Okay.
in my hands.
Something Zelda.
It seems heavy. He's
Something
slowly.
Zelda, huh?
He's slowly pulling something out of.
Zelda.
Something
no.
you couldn't possibly
I'm
read
gonna
from this
hum a theme
distance.
now, Mr. Ellis.
Final Fantasy.
This is an elegant tombstone from Final Fantasy 14.
Oh,
wow.
man. Get that nerd.
I'm sorry, an
It
elegant
is a USB drive,
tombstone.
but this is the currency you get in the game for doing
running your dungeons.
for running dungeons and raids and stuff.
No, that's a Tron thing, dude. That's
No,
not,
it's
that's
not.
nothing to do with Final Fantasy.
Elegant tombstone, and it's USB. So woo, just goes right in. It's nice because it's this thick rubber around
that's-
it.
yeah.
So all the other ones I usually get, that I see, are like this plastic one.
Yes.
And I feel like
I'll
they're
hold
gonna-
that up for the.
Is that from like a fan
That's
fest?
a nice USB
Yes,
stick.
it is from
Okay,
FanFest
cool.
this year. It's from
That's
FanFest,
pretty cool, actually.
North American FanFest.
Good texture.
Yeah, it's what you get. It's what you try and cap each week to buy better gear.
Huh.
Yeah.
We should ask you what's in your mug more often.
Yeah, maybe you should.
Okay, it is now time for bets. Let's do it. Bets. Do you have it? Okay, so
Hello, Sophie.
let's do it. Next week's bet. The Nintendo Switch releases on Friday. And with it, many launch games at this point next week. How many customer reviews on Amazon.com will Super Bomberman R have? Jones already went. What is that?
18,
18 customer reviews.
which I
Michael
think is
Damiani.
low, right?
25.
Ooh.
Bradley
Boy.
Ellis.
I went high. 250.
A lot of sales.
Let me say, kind of low launch. Not a lot there.
Yeah.
People want to buy games, new games.
Yeah.
Like Knack sold a lot of copies.
I hear you. I hear you. And then they want to go
Yeah.
straight back to the store and say, you need to buy this game 4 stars.
Kyle's just excited right now because he knows how bad of a bet he just
No.
made.
I did 18. I know, Jones.
What does that
Sucks.
mean when you bet the same?
Well, it means if we're right, we both get a point, which is nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
double points.
But I don't know. It doesn't look good for us. Let me lock that in.
Please write your Amazon reviews.
Please go to Amazon.
You can, yeah. You have
Man,
the power
I
on
don't know
that
how many
one.
reviews those games get. I've never even looked at that.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard because it's hard to gauge what is equal to a Super Bomberman R. You know, if you look at a Mario game versus looking at an obscure
Yeah, I
indie
don't know.
game, they have different.
Shot in the dark.
Zelda.
It's tricky.
It's 250 users.
Write those emails, everybody. Write those reviews.
What that 18? That's so crazy.
Yeah, that is weird, Jones. We're on this weird.
What's happening
way.
there?
Wait till you hear this humdinger. Last week's bet: Horizon Zero Dawn released on Tuesday, released today.
Ah!
Yes, February 28th. At this point, what will the trophy percentage be for the trophy earned by scaling a tall neck, the towers of Horizon Zero Dawn? Jones, you bet 20% of people will have achieved that trophy. Ian bet 46%. Ben bet 35%. And I bet 3%.
Dear Lord, Kyle Baldwin.
The actual percentage is 11.6. Now, it's really close, Jones.
Ooh.
I'm 8.6 off. You're 8.4 off. They got me, Jones. You know what? I'm gonna check. In the hour and a half that we've been recording this podcast. I'm gonna see if that percentage has changed.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I want this one, Jones.
It's only gonna favor
Jones. It'll only get closer to Jones. You're right. It's only gonna get closer to Jones.
Wow, 3 weeks in a row.
It's on fire.
Wow. It's actually at 12.9 now. So yeah, it's just closer to Jones.
Okay.
Jones got really scared when I said that. Yeah.
This guy got all excited.
That means in that hour and a half, like hundreds of people climbed that tall neck.
Yeah.
All right.
Good job, everybody.
Good job, everybody, getting that trophy. That means that Jones gets 3 in a row.
Bing, hat trick.
Oh boy, Jones. Good grief, dude. Okay, so that brings our total. Excuse me. To Red Eagle 7. Purple Platypi 1.
It's a stupid animal. That's why we're losing.
Well, here's the thing.
Right. Should have picked whatever hawk or eagle thing I picked.
You've had a good one. I like
Right.
Tyrannical toucans.
Next year.
Would be killing it.
Damiani,
Year 2, baby.
you are absolutely right.
There you go.
Okay, so the Purple Platypi have 1 point. And that is because Damiani lost a point for his team.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
He was holding on to the like potato at the end of that epised, and that.
It's not like anyone else is pulling their weight, though, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Right. We're also actually getting points for that team.
46%.
Now here's the thing: we stopped leveling up the prove it ticket, so that would never happen to us again. That was awful. The like it potato was awful. We can all admit that was awful.
Stressful.
Yeah. There are fans of the like it potato, but I don't want to accommodate them anymore. It's a scary thing. It was awful.
No.
So, we replaced it with goals, which is fine. But what's up, Jones?
Just imagining at our concert in March, like the poster in the back, bring back the like it potato.
I'm tearing that up.
Damiani, I made a promise to the entire audience that I would give you the chance to win your point back.
I like it.
So now we have to undergo the challenge of Nephthys. Damiani, now once the challenge of Nephthys begins, you may not escape. If you do escape, you will lose another point for your team. Do you accept these terms?
So if I escape... Wait, what? Why don't I want to escape?
If you get off the couch and leave this room.
If you get scared during the challenge of
It's all
Nephthys,
for dramatic effect.
if you get scared, you will lose a point.
Just nod and smile. This will all be
There
over
is
with
no
shortly.
going back. We are at the point of no return. We're at the end of RPG where there's a portal right there, and everybody in the party is saying, "Are you sure you want to move forward?"
Cool.
Okay, Damiani selected cool. The challenge of Nephthys begins. Damiani, complete this rhyme. We got music playing, Brad.
Oh, okay.
So your music on top of the music.
Damn.
If you want to keep
Just
doing
fill in
that.
the gaps.
Okay. Complete the rhyme. In all my years, I never could have predicted that. But now I'm here, holding an unexpected...
That.
That is correct. We're moving forward.
Nice job, dude.
There are
I
two more.
wish it was
Nice
something I
job.
would write
There are
with
two more
switch.
challenges. There are two more challenges. Here we go. Who is your favorite Spice Girl?
Ginger.
Dude,
That is correct.
Yeah,
That is
locked in.
correct. That is correct. There's only one more left, Damiani. Here we go. You're on your roll. Here we go.
Come on.
You wake up in a barren desert. You travel for hours with no food or water. A yellow scorpion approaches. It says, "Follow me and I will lead you home." You follow the path of the yellow scorpion, and in 44 minutes, you find yourself in a beautiful village with ample water and ample shade. In return, I ask you for one thing, says the scorpion. What? You say. Give me a name, says the scorpion. What do you name the scorpion?
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
That's correct.
Yes!
That's correct.
Yes!
That's correct.
Yes, Damiani!
Dwayne "The Rock"
back in it.
Johnson. Damiani. You completed the challenge of Nephthys. You got your point back.
I'm there to more confused than I like.
That now leaves us at Red Eagle 7. Cat.
Ka.
Purple Platypi 2. What a stupid thing we do here. Let's do some Patreon plugs, Jones. Let's talk about Easy Allies.
Yeah.
And what this is all about.
I'll tell you what's exciting about
exciting?
Easy Allies. We're beginning our 12th month of operation.
Yes.
In the last couple days, the Twitch calendar has reset, getting near the end of the year. We're now handing out gold A's on Twitch if you've been around for 12 months and subscribed to us, which is absolutely incredible.
Cool to see.
So we love patrons, day one. We love patrons that are just signing up today. Any kind of contribution you can make is definitely appreciated. All of that goes directly into either funding the allies or funding the work that we do. And it's just so exciting. We're gearing up towards our Easy Allies in Concert, which will be on March 21st. Tickets, which were promised to go on sale last week, will go on sale any minute now.
It's out of Jones's hands. He's trying as hard as he can.
I literally am just waiting for people to call me and then be like, it's done. Like, yeah, great. And then I can make announcements. But just an absolutely tremendous amount of support. This feels like something that has been going on for longer than a year, but I can't believe it. We're not there yet. We're almost at our first year.
Yeah.
But we're breaking records right and left, and we're doing it on behalf of this amazing community that we have. So, we have fun doing what we do, but we really think that you should get involved in this community and meet all of the wonderful people that do support us and watch our shows and hang out on our Twitch streams. So you can go to Twitch, you can follow us there, you can be on here on YouTube, and you can subscribe to us. But the place you definitely want to go is patreon.com/easyallies. See who we are, what we're all about, and how you can support us and what you get for it.
Jones, excellent work.
Yeah.
Brad, how'd you do on your goal this week?
I don't know. How did I do, Jones?
Yeah. Especially because it's a
yes? Are you that serious?
Especially because it's just a chapter. You know what I mean? And it's like, what do you think? Well, here's the thing. I'm actually curious to get the bet here. I'm actually curious. I wouldn't necessarily call it a bet, but I want a prediction from Brad. I want a prediction based on your extensive knowledge of the game Final Fantasy VII and your anticipation of you got to get back on mic and your anticipation of this remake of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
How long do you think it will take, just minimum, median, to beat that first chapter of Final Fantasy VII?
20 hours.
20 hours.
Minimum.
Yep.
For that first chapter. Okay.
Just going through. First time. Yep. 20 hours.
Okay.
Crit pathing.
Probably 40.
Yeah.
Because
Probably 40.
Because certainly that first chapter, I will probably have played that in 7 as well. So I will be able to make the comparison. We're like, oh, I remember this moment from 7.
That's going to be part of the excitement
Maybe.
for you?
The relevance, if I happen to be on a frame trap that week,
Sure.
I won't just be like, yeah, that was fun. Here's this random character I have no frame of reference on. It's like, nah, yeah, like
Jonesy.
We should explain.
Wedge and the
Just give me an idea.
little robot spider boss and them going back to their base and Tifa. I remember that.
Wow, I mean, he's on top of it.
But that's it. That's all he knows.
That's when I stopped playing.
That's like 40 minutes into the game.
We should do a simul playthrough.
A simul
stream
playthrough? What are you talking
when it comes out on stream? One person playing through OG.
Oh my.
My
Whoa.
phone's going, or my watch is going crazy.
OG
that's a
Final.
watch.
Someone
That was his
playing
gold
through
meter
OG
going
Final
off.
Fantasy 7,
Gold meter.
and someone playing through Chapter 1 side by side on the stream.
Yeah.
So we could see them like being played real
Well,
time.
I'm sure we're going to be the only people
Little
doing
hokey
that.
for me, Damiani.
What?
Whoa.
That's a little hokey for me.
Hokey.
Yes.
Are you? What?
I want to stream the game in its full resolution. I want to be there for each of those
I want to
moments.
see the side by side comparison.
That's cool for video.
No,
but not a
that's
stream.
too long.
Oh my
We need
goodness.
the most definitive, in-depth version.
Tell you what, dude. You could play the old version. I'll play the new one.
Cool.
Then I'm down.
Damiani, how'd you do on your goal?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it. You accomplished your goal this week. Jones, how'd you do on your goal?
I did fantastic. Not only did I work Pokemon in there, but you brought up Batman as well. So,
When did I bring
won.
up Batman?
Batman's always a bonus.
because you said, yeah, it's like Warner Brothers. It's like they're waiting to announce something later in the year. It could be a Batman game.
Batman?
Yeah.
So, Batman
So wait,
and Pokemon got
Is that
mentioned.
a running
so.
thing? Is that you also want to mention Batman?
Well,
every podcast?
how rad would it be next week if I bring up a new topic and Batman, Pokemon, and that topic are mentioned,
God.
Yeah.
and I just keep that trend going?
I'll try to help you. I'll try
Yeah,
to help when
okay.
I can. I think I said switch a bunch. Okay, Jones, I'm now about to hand over the microphone to you. You have the right and responsibility to share your Twitter handle with the world. You get to promote any Easy Allies video that you would like to. You get the final word on anything you want to reiterate or correct. And you get to sign off with your trademark sign off.
Wonderful.
Look at this guy with a hat trick, dude.
I don't know. Yeah, I might skip the one where I reiterate something. I can't think of anything.
You're right as the winner.
You went through this entire podcast with any conflict. There's nothing that you want the final word on.
Yeah, the first Final Fantasy game you should play is Final Fantasy IX. There you go. There's that. There's the final word on that. That is it. That is your entry in there. That'll set you up perfectly. Everywhere you go, that franchise is going to dart off in all sorts of crazy directions. 9 is just it's the new, it's the old. It's PS1. It's just the art aesthetic, it's the story, the music, and characters. Vivi, such a good character. You can find me at Trailer Jones. Damiani, I'm sorry. There's a very exciting review coming out very soon from Michael Damiani that I am working on that you should definitely watch later in the week, but that is not the video that I'm going to recommend.
Oh, that's cheating.
That was cheating. That was cheating.
I didn't say what it was.
Yeah.
It could be anything. Damiani reviews lots of games. There might not be something specific he's working on. I would like to draw your attention to a brand new podcast that we have put up called Easy Anime.
Whoa.
That stars Mr. Brad Ellis and
me.
Mr. Ben Moore, where they sit down and they talk about anime. And their first episode that they did was based on Berserk, something that I'm familiar with. If you showed me a picture of Berserk, I could probably identify it as Berserk. I do not know character names. I do not know that story.
Yeah.
The second episode is on JoJo. And I do not know the extent of the JoJo universe, but I definitely am versed in some of those characters.
Yes.
And so I was tempted to join that conversation, but I'm just so proud of Ben and whatever this guy's name is for putting that podcast together, actually showing up. I just love it when I get the message from Ben where he's like, "Can we come by tomorrow and shoot that podcast?" I'm like, "Yes, you can. You're gonna come over here and produce another show for us and keep the conversation going and bring the allies in and we're growing. We didn't have that podcast a couple months back. We never promised that podcast.
Yeah.
We just delivered that, and so
Can I say something, actually? That podcast that happened because of constant requests for it. And I think that that's an effective thing. If you want to see us stream things, if you want to see us make things, if you want to see us stop doing things, just tell us. Just tell us.
Yeah.
If we hear it enough, it starts to make an effect. Obviously, one person just demanding a thing can get annoying. But the more we hear it from people, the more it becomes a real thing. And it's the only way we know. It's the only way we know what you want. And so,
we do have lots of cross streams here, whereas like a comment goes to Patreon, Ben Moore gets it, passes on to the rest of us. Comment shows up on the website and the forums. Bloodworth will probably pick it up, pass it along. Damiani's on Twitch more than most of us in chat and stuff like that, so like he'll pick that stuff up. So never a bad place. You ask it on Frame Trap, ask it on the Patreon, ask it to the podcast. It will get to us, and we will receive that note. So. Don't want to make promises. Don't want to be like, you suggest a show and we'll do it. Like, we're doing as much work as we possibly can. But thank you, Brad and Ben, for creating that show.
Thanks for letting us do it here.
And you should check it out.
check it out.
Cheers. The Easy Allies would like to thank our Patreon podcast producers. We apologize in advance for all the ally names we are about to misspell and mispronounce. Ebb Software, iKeyless, Michael Kozachenko, Steve Lichman, Mango, Neobites, Sweet Justice, Nick, Jesse Fish, Simon Anderson, Shayla Tobin, Luke Arnold, Bradley Speeds, Caleb Aranda, Richard Smuts, Professor Metal Gear, David Peterson, Walker Hope, Osama Alarbi, Ken Layer, John Tyson, Zachary Wingate, Beaten Down Brian, Leaf Johnson, Jared Reif, Corey Jackson, Matthew Pauling, 44 Stars, Gino Elite, Silent Consonant, Yasser Aluseni, Jason A. Sackle, Candy Coated Thorns, G. Levin, Charles Anthony Iapicino, Sigma, G. Ken, Thomas Rogers, Tim O'Keefe, Hitman 47, Ryan Anderson, Nicholas Owens, Jean-Philippe Legacy, Robert Stoffel, Colt Doss, Paul Nalsund, Jason Joint, Cody Harden, Andrew Stoke, Jay Shee, Marcel Giru 71 Froelich, Yong Lee, Paul Judge, Mark Bianchin, Phoenix Doss, Lee Young, Congolator, Andrew Kidd, Peter Davis, Skolopen, Clayton Ingram, Rack, Greg Kettering, Rick Argomenes, Adam Pryor, Brad Lohman, Gary Fair, Cheryl Stopgert Paracchio, Matthias Hasselvig Jensen, Ian Santa Anna, Tim Strothman, Andrew Bailey, Caleb Crawford, Blue Suitor, Leanne Alexandru, Todd Yurkovic, Risev, Usman Khan, Jordan Phillips, Will Schmuck, Yo Butts, Michael Bisegli, Athena, Patrick Chong, Gosho Gawara Deluxe, Wesley Welcomer, Monica, Chum Nguyen, Isabella Crane, Sergio Ruben Hernandez Gallegos, Stephen Last, Ahmad Naki, The Banana Forklift Killer, Kaylee Murdoch, Joaquim Morovuo, Gustav Strombaum, Calvin Hartanto, Marcel Markov, Mark J. Betters II, Nefertiti Jenkins, Joel Olson, David Wen, Daryl Schramm, Brent Phillips, Marius Smith, Turbo Girl, Catherine Lai, Tralium, Gary James, Neil Bruce, Rory McGuire, Ian Bradburn, Juan Yobo, Robert Crouch, Michael Shriver, Sven von Brand, By Menace, Fabian Schuster, Mikhail Agnel, Ulf himself, Burwa Hama Mahmud, Lars Grains, I Sun Chor, Waleed WSF 88, Jared Putman, Forrest Polk, Mike Hook 1, Thomas Einsporn, Jamie Jackman, Preston Swaggerty Haggerty, Mauricio Fuentes, Zyla Wolfbane, Quickscares.com, Alexander Schiller, Neil Brophy, Boris Scherl, Captain Fancy Pants, Yoon Kim, Michael Eaton, Zintrax, Modren, Stephen Cohen, Eric Haver, Censor Eric, Connor Rosine, Paul Bishop, Travis Miosi, Jimmy Mileson, Carl Williams, Trey Whetstone, Adam Damon, Tony Knox, Matt McCarthy, Eric Crone, Sean Mackey, Leroy Anderson, Nasser, Reed Johnson, Manuel Thomas, Peter Wen, Eric C., Adam Scherenbrock, Kurzistav Rogowski, Themo Preuss, Allison Burt, Jenny Markula, Bjornar Haraldsvik, Alfredo Gonzalez, David Flynn, Sean De Almeida, Zach Bardsley, Gibbo, Chris Sleep, Dan Sebring, Mokiki, Jacob Whittington, Charlie, Serial Gamer, Mike and Tasha Garcia, Michael Favacci, Eric Maynard, Cartridge Brothers, Dennis Franklin, Michael Wilson, Renee Klutk, Gonzas Elite, Bernardo Del Castillo, Leon Keys, Manx64, Raymond Lee, Darren Banish, Todd Paxstone, Taggart McStone, Fast Mower, Faraz Rizvi, Dakota Hayes, Zoostick, Don Turner, Luke Mivshek, Otto Mustonen, Stephen Blomkamp, Kyle Bradford, Miles Walden, Edison S. Prada Jr., Ian Barker, Alexandri Breveglieri, Corbin Bread, Zach Latham, Marty Savage, Travis Ing, Bryce Ray Parker, Ahmed Alrashed, Tuttle, Raymond Dodon, Stuart Siddle, William Kirk, G-Sith, Connor Ross, Matt Gunther, Evan Eng, Joshua Vanswall, Ryan E. Garcia, Eric Gustafson, Refill, Sebastian Trier, Bonnie and Jason Connor, Eric Carr, Jeffrey Daniel Lasley, Stephen Walther, Carlos Zuniga, Ryan Cohen, Adam the Welshman Mullaney, Link666 Goron, Terrence Ireland, Simon Gauthier, Momo Rashid, M. Legend, Lance Mink, Matthias Larson, Sean Clinton, Yanni, Justin Wenderoth, Grace, Calgareth, Eddie Reisner, Chase Caldwell, Cameron Hendry, Andrew Buchter, Rebecca Woods, Barry, Mizek, Andrew Wanser, Gon Kef, Adam Henry, Beautiful Kai, Hudson Bilbrey, Christ Abramian, Mac Jam, Caffeine Rage, Kyra Stenroos, David Kennedy, Durgesh Patel, Sarah, Philip Stadler, Benny Samuelson, Trolls Rasmussen, Daniel Wong, Jameson Anderson, Vincent Foliot, John Mayer, Rainier Dennis Bautista, Jordan Eves, Tetra Ninja, Colby Keith, Junya Motomura, Jake Musser, Eric Santoy, Ya Boy Benny B, Sebastian K, Ancient Picnic, Mons Anderson, Elevin Skogheim, Jai Aldiar, Kevin DeBolt, Morgan Worth, Sam Sorensen, Pixel Critics, Shahir Khan, Matt Ferguson, Michael Tennick, Poogie Boogie, Peyton Wiederspan, Chris the Pianist, Michelle Nubb, Kirk, Sandra and Richard Acero, Robert Marquardt, Carlos Gonzalez, Joe Burns, David Tran, Monica X. Avaria, Alan Wen, Adam Barker, Philip Klarskov Jensen, Niels Frederick Elbol, Sun Pham, Alex Monaco, Evan Anderson, Fumbles, Nuno Amaral, Galen Moxley Hagert, Twisted Heart, David Boyarski, Rahiv Maharaj, Ciara Wheeler, Sean McGing, Dirtbag Daryl, KBM 13, Daggeth, Brennan Rehoric, Joaquim Weiderberg, Christopher Santis, Marco Flores, Tarek Leham, Christian Hundorf, Andreas Koter, Extravaganza, Gali Gutierrez, Jason Shields, Rister EXE, Julio Ruiz, wow, that was epic, Andy H., Lars Berger, Spry Farron, James Kennedy, David Cosal, Remy Loisel, Christopher Dixon, Peter Shoemaker, Irvin De La Torre, Cyberboa, Azazel Valkyrie, Michael Esme, Garrett Fawkes, Christopher Foss, Outcast Writer, Helping Leon, Self-Confessed Cynic, Roman Udolph, Angel Blood Publishing LLC, V. Kira Ray, Tristan Howard, Hugo Kalm, Jeremiah Snowden, Dinesh Patel, Michael Agent, Materia Addict, Robert I, Gonzalo Sands, Blaster Master, Elizabeth, Shannon Gates, Alex Lavanier, Justin Wren, Age Dolls, Adam, Robert Ori Einerson, Phoenix Rouge, Christopher Donnelly, Jesper Lawson, Joel Short, Marco Hernandez, Andrew Amos, Fat Shadow, Struggler, Grunt Elite, Tense George, Joey and Kate, Raymond Chow, Ian Anderson, Anthony Cabrera, Tongue Surgery, C.S. Lewis, Hasney, Dave Red, Thomas Wigington Jr., Trenton Robeson, Roy Sung, Kim Monk Vonderleith Haagensen Petersen, Colin Hoylman, Reed Marlett, Evan Anderson, Ali Khan Sunger, Dale A. Brule, Rerun, Elliot Lubbock, James Blair, Arkham Fantasy, Luis Ibarra, Dale Sun, Philip Higdon, John Ivar Carlson, Spencer Stevens, Christopher Wells, Dan Wen, Impact 93, Siahid Jabbar, Juan, Elliot Moscow, Jonas, Ivan Ponce, John Prey, Adam Warzek, Sean Essen, Sebastian Urban, Marco Zanone, Alec Church.